Oh, yeah! Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a Sunday. You know what that means. It means you put the football away. It means you stop spending time with your family. It means that you come hang out for Tavern Talk. Thank you, guys. Here we are. And just in the fucking nick of time, Ryan squeezes in the back door.
I wish you said it any other way.
Ryan oozes up the crack. Ryan slips into the tiny brown hole.
What is happening?
Hi, guys. It's Tavern Talk.
Welcome, everybody. Great intro, Dan.
Thank you.
I call Ryan the sphincter sneaker now.
Sphincter sneaker. Oh, God. Hold on. God.
The door is open.
Light.
Could have used a warning. The door hit my knee, but
I blame the invisible bouncer there. Well, you see that there is a person between the puppets today. As Tavern Talk goes, we have best friends that come join us and are either new or reoccurring. And here we have someone who has joined us prior, and we are pleased to have him back. Guys, at home, quietly fucking applaud and go and say, I know you, because we have from the Black Tower podcast, it's Andrew.
that's me.
Yes. I give that a C-.
Yeah, okay, it passes.
I got focused on Dan saying to the, those of you at home fucking quietly.
All y'all fucking quietly stop for a moment and acknowledge that Andrew's on our show. Okay.
Is this your playlist so that your roommates don't hear you?
Gross. Baby, I need to mow tomorrow. I think I need to get gas first. Oh, I love when you talk dirty. I'm going to
Maybe stop at Home Depot.
I'm going to stop at Home Depot, get a new blade for my edger.
Oh. New water filter.
I'm going to get some 50-to-1 ratio gas.
I need a new air filter because, baby, you're taking my breath away.
I'm going to call you carburetor. I don't know.
Dan, there's a lot of new faces and names in chat.
Hi, faces and names.
It's going by too fast. I can't even say hi to him. Row the tolerated. Awesome. Whoa. I hope you live up to your name today.
I tolerate you already. No, I more than tolerate you. I appreciate you.
Oh, it's good to see Matthew Netherland. We haven't heard from him in a while. Anyway, keep going, Dan. This is having a great time.
Yeah, me too, Ryan. And I'm so glad you're on. Ryan was frantic for the last 5 minutes before we got on, so his calm demeanor is just him catching his breath, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know how I got this IT job. I think it's like I woke up from a bad dream, and all of a sudden I'm still an IT guy.
I mean, just fake it till you make it. That's all you got to do. You can Google everything.
Yeah, Google it, baby.
Yeah,
that's cheap.
That's how I got back on.
Jeez, how do I get back on?
Turn it off and then turn it back on. I was like, what? All right, great idea.
Google, how do I get turned back on? What do I do?
Oh, no.
Oh. So we generally start with the new best friend. We generally will around the. Thank you, Al'Thor State.
It's going to be a great show. I can tell already.
I can tell already. Yeah, Andrew, do you have something to drink? Are you imbibing this evening? No pressure. I'm just wondering. Let's go. What do you got? That's a Voodoo Ranger. I'm rocking an IPA as well.
I had to, since I knew I was talking to you guys, I had to pick the Juicy Haze IPA.
Yeah, let's go. Because we are unfiltered. Yep. So we generally start with a song, but I already wrote you one. So I would like you to sing us a song.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah. How did it go, Andrew? Do you remember it word for word?
Let me look back through months of messages.
It's okay. So no song tonight, but and we will hopefully have another guest joining us as soon as the man lets him off work. Fuck the man in the meantime, as always, and then drive safely or ride the train safely or whatever you do.
Boss makes $1, I make a dime. That's why I cleanse the taint on company time.
Yeah. Who makes $1? Rand?
The boss. Yeah, Rand makes $1. Ty makes a dime. That's why he cleaned. Well, it doesn't really work. You get the idea.
I like that. All right, so we don't have a song, but we do have some news as far as this has been a big week as far as the show goes. Ryan has been hot on the tail. Ryan is our Geraldo Rivera, as you can tell by the mustache. Ryan, I'm going to throw a chair at your face during a white supremacist thing and break your nose.
If you watch the Zapruder film of that tape, you see that Geraldo moves his head into the angle of the chair to really get a face shot.
That makes him so much more badass in my eyes. He broke his nose like on purpose. He intentionally broke his nose for the cause.
Yeah, and then afterwards he's like, "You're supposed to hit me in the face. I pay you to throw that chair in my face, and you missed."
His face was messed up, and he still went on. Oh man, Geraldo was hashtag Geraldo that day, right?
Yeah, but unlike Geraldo Rivera, when I break down a wall and search for a buried treasure, I always find something, whether it's I'm making up or not. Anyway,
it's just this baseball card with Honus Wagner's face. Fuck that.
Sometimes the journey is the treasure, my friend.
Yeah, it's the friends you made along the way, Ryan.
So yeah, rough week for Amazon, right? Really rough week, and I think under the surface, I'm more concerned about the hiring of this executive producer director for half of season 2 than I am the recast of Matt. I think both of them don't bode well for a burgeoning, multi-million-dollar production. But when I looked into this woman Sanaa Hamri, her work, and it's just all trash. It's not very. It's not someone that you would generally say, yes, you take the helm of this season and you go based on your work background. Yep.
She is an executive producer. And we have seen, like with Jeopardy, where an executive producer is like, I'll just be host. And people did not think it was the best choice. And in retrospect, it probably was not. I don't mean to derail so much, but she did Glee. She did Empire, Desperate Housewives, where the dialogue seemed stilted and not very awesome. For an ensemble like Desperate Housewives, it didn't seem like it was the greatest direction. Now we're going to have someone who is doing an epic fantasy with CGI with a vast number of extras and such. And Ryan and I were expressing some apprehension as far as her experience, I guess. Have you heard anything about this, Andrew, or do you have any thoughts?
I've heard a little bit about it, and I'm looking up stuff, and the list of what it says that she has directed If I'm looking at the right list, I don't recognize a single fucking name on this list.
Yep. Well,
So
no,
this is like this might be movies. These are like films like she expressly directed.
Yeah, no, she did. She did. She's
Did
very.
she do the Mariah Carey, The Adventures of Mimi?
Yeah, no, she did the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants 2, the sequel, and she did a movie called Just Right with Common and Queen Latifah.
Two Pants, Too Furious, I think it was called, right?
She did that. She did Something New, Love Struck, the musical, Studio City, Acceptance, Live at Aladdin, Las Vegas. No Apologies.
So, I mean, Ryan and I tend to, we have optimistic dreams, but we have, I guess, realistic, thoughts about things. And I guess we're tending to be a little cynical about this choice. So I guess
drop dead cynical.
What's that?
Are you drop dead cynical?
No, I'm open. I'm open-minded. I mean, look. I mean, my head pretty much opens.
All right.
But yeah, MK, we are. Yeah, Ryan went some deep digging. He did a video on it. If you guys, it's on the Twat News thing. But it was kind of shocking, just some of the stilted conversation that it offered. That was like, really? And Glee and Desperate Housewives, I would say, are ensembles, much like we're going to have in several scenes within this Wheel of Time series.
Yeah.
So,
and I highlighted the dialogue because it's kind of easy, it's quick and easy to like really see because it's really bad. But also, for me, if the dialogue is not good in the Wheel of Time, I'm gonna have a hard time. I could laugh off some bad CGI. I could laugh off some like maybe whatever. Like if they're trying to make it look like a big battlefield, but you can obviously see only 20 extras or something. I can laugh that shit off as long as everyone is acting and behaving in a believable manner and talking to each other in like language that feels real. And I was having a hard time finding clips of even what I would call like real normal human
like a conversation. Right.
So I was
for season 1, didn't Rave say that like they had an executive director or an assistant director expressly like that didn't like doing fantasy to help them make it like more relatable from like the human aspect to make sure that it was like believable from a non-fantasy standpoint. If Sana Hamri is the choice to do the same thing for season 2, then I'm worried about the whole we're trying to keep it from seeming like another like teenage rom-com kind of thing.
Right.
Yep, I'm worried.
Ensemble cast, not performance. Okay, I can see that, and I guess Wheel of Time would probably fit into that bill as well. But I mean, I'm sure that they had scenes where the 4 or 5 of them were all in one room, which I would consider. I don't know. Anyways, we're just picking nits out of our own faces, right? Like monkeys.
That's why I wish Daniel was here already, because he's really good with like talking about like. It seems like he knows every movie and like every director.
Right.
So I'm sure he has thoughts. I would be more surprised if he didn't have thoughts on it, but he's got to make that money.
All right. Well, how about your feelings on the recasting of Matt? Where were you when you learned the news? It's like we have JFK, we have 9/11, and then Matt recasting. Where were you?
I think I was at work. When was that announced again? I don't remember where I was because I'm also not that worried about it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So, okay. I'm not. I mean, whatever the reason is, and of course, like everybody else, I'm not really going to speculate on what it could be, other than like broad categories. Like, either something personally with Barney Harris happened, or they couldn't agree on something contractually. And it could have been something as simple as he got another offer that he didn't want to, say no on, and it would have prevented him from doing well at the time. Who knows?
I would think that this was made and designed with several seasons in mind, and I think that the contracts probably reflected this multi-year commitment. To be, if we're being honest, I don't think that he could have said, "Oh, sorry, man, but Spielberg wants me for this, so bye." I don't think that is a realistic. I think they're locked in, man, unless something releases them from the contract.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I meant with, like, if there was like a contract dispute, like if there was something that he now or his agent wanted to change in his contract, and team was just like, no, it's already signed, and it was just something where he's like, yeah, it's a deal breaker for me.
Yeah,
I mean, whatever happened, like there was definitely a reason for it, and we don't know what it is. And there's no point in like really dwelling too much on it because it is what it is. It's already done. But I mean, there's like members in TV or in movies get recast all the time. Like Don Cheadle becoming War Machine or Colonel Rhodes, same thing. But it's easier for us to stomach that because it generally happens in between movies. So you get this long stretch with them, and then the next movie it's somebody else. You don't see it, or it's more jarring when it's a TV show because it feels like it's, one episode is this person, the next episode they look completely different. But it still happens. It looks like it was Barney for all of season 1. So whenever season 1 is done and season 2 picks up, that'll be when we actually see the change. We're just hearing about it now. So,
like, there's a part of me that kind of hopes that he sucks and that Donald Finn is way better. Like, there's a part of me that like doesn't want to now embrace Barney as Matt, knowing that it's going to change to a certain degree. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's not really on screen that often this first season as a result.
Yeah. I mean, there's also the thing like you got to have like faith and confidence, like we have like since 2018 in Rafe and team that they're going to choose people that are going to do the role justice. I don't think they would have offhanded, just, we got to hurry up and scramble to choose somebody. We'll just take who we can get. Like from the little bit that I've seen of Donald, he seems to be fairly good. I mean, he made it into The Witcher, so
yeah,
and he played a McGonagall. So
I remember reading something where someone had hypothesized that Harry Potter from the second or third movie on was Harry knowing that someone else was Dumbledore and pretending to be Dumbledore, but everyone else was just accepting this guy to be Dumbledore. You had the old man that was like, "Hello, Harry," and then you had this guy who was like, "Hello, Harry," who was like, "Yeah, Harry, what'd you do?" And that Harry was the only one that was like, "This isn't the real Dumbledore," but everyone else just didn't see it. Oh, him and Luna Lovegood or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's a fun.
Luna Lovegood.
So Ryan fucked off. Tech. He lives in the Silicon Valley, guys.
Well, that's why there's a silicon shortage still. So.
I was watching this thing about mercury. There's like smuggling mercury into gold countries because they use it for panning. Oh, it was crazy. All right,
yeah,
so
you can use the mercury to separate the gold out, and then you just have to separate the gold from the mercury.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the mercury binds to flecks that would normally be lost in the wash, but then you have to burn off the mercury, and that's where the danger comes from because there's a lot of people using butane torches and turning their head away when they're doing it.
Instead of putting it in a still, because there's actually a way like where you can put it in a recovery still that kind of like turns the mercury into vapor, and the gold falls out the bottom, and the mercury goes up through a condenser coil and recondenses into liquid metal so that you can then reuse it. But that requires setup, and it increases pressure, so it's got to be a fairly strong system. I mean,
well, the guy who was doing it legit had a water pump system where it was just like it would take all the particles into the water, and this water was just constantly bashing against it and pushing the heavy metals down. So it may have been the same kind of concept where it was. Yeah.
I don't know. I might have a beard, but I'm not a prospector, so.
And none of these guys had beards, to be honest.
See, they gotta have beards.
Yeah, they just had like fire hoses and were just going through mud. Yeah, it was crazy.
A beardless prospector is like a skinny innkeeper. Just don't trust.
Well, Suriname is full of them. So, all right. So, I agree with you as far as it is what it is. I'm hoping that this guy's awesome. I do think it isn't the greatest news for this to happen, just like for us to hear about it a month and a half before the season starts. I think that's a little weird.
Or would you rather hear about it now before we even start watching season 1, so we can watch all of season 1 knowing that Barney Harris isn't going to be reprising the role in season 2? Or would you rather hear about it towards the end or once season 1 is done?
Honestly, probably
like
after
have to get
the
bad
season.
News, what?
Yeah, I would think probably after the season because I don't know. Right now, I don't want to watch it with like a jaded head, and I think I may be, and I don't want to.
Fair enough. So like you might not enjoy Matt as much knowing that, hey, this isn't the Matt that they're going to be using going forward. I can see that.
Yeah. And I hope that they don't be like, oh, hey, the dagger just made him kind of more handsome now. Look at the change. He has an Irish accent.
Yeah. I mean, hey, the taint of Mashadar definitely changes people. So,
like entirely. He's he's like for some reason I remember being in The Witcher.
From back in my days, he's gonna remember his days in the SAS, and that's gonna be some of the old general memories he has.
The choreographer came and put an X on the stage and told me this is where I need to go. While 3 dancers were walking by, the director yelled, and he's like, "What am I thinking? Oh, I'm flashing back to someone else's."
It's not breaking the fourth wall if you go into a mirror world.
Oh, I have to let Ryan in. I'm sorry, Ryan.
Wow.
Thank you.
Ryan's in a closet.
I saw you sitting there, and I sent a message in the private chat asking if you were good because I could let you in. But
I'm on the phone. I can't see that stuff anymore.
Ryan.
I will keep that in mind. If you
bad.
disappear and come back, I'll try to help make sure you get back in.
Thanks, buddy.
I'll try to be your show wingman.
The show wingman. I like that. Oh, speaking of which,
Spoiler.
we have spoilers here. This is a spoiler-filled show because it is Tavern Talk. Speaking of which, we talked about a couple chapters with our first-time readers, including where they get notice that that Elza had brought news that the Amarillan said that if you want to find all their stuff, it's under the case there. So what is the actual fuck with that? It was a trap, I guess, that they are saying, but it was actually helpful and true and helped them help Rand. Would you consider this information that they derived that Swan was like, I never told Elsa to tell you anything. We burnt all their shit. Do you think that this is the work of a Forsaken and Dark Friends? However, it was good and true and happened to help. Those are my thoughts about what's going on. I guess I couldn't talk about this in a spoiler-filled situation with our first-time readers. But what's the deal? That shit helped. All that shit to tear. Yeah. That's exactly where Rand was going. Yeah, that's where the Black Ajah were going. And yeah, that's where all the Forsaken were kind of focused. it was helpful information, right?
I mean, it was. So I mean, like, the spoiler warning's out there, so we can talk about the entire series, right?
Correct.
Okay, so
Spoiler.
All right.
So Elsa Grinwell, the one that we see that actually delivers this message is Lanfear.
Correct.
Like, because the real Elsa Grinwell was already sent back home for trying to fiddle some diddles, like, I think, if I remember right. She was like caught out after hours, like trying to have relations with some of the
too many dicks. Elsa, too many dicks.
Well, should have stuck to building snowmen or asking if you wanted to build snowmen.
Hey, I'm never going to judge Elsa for that.
I mean,
apparently the White Tower does, though.
I'm not judging, but the White Tower is like, no, this is against the code of conduct. You've got to go.
So, like, how many is too many for the White Tower, which is shaped like a big dick?
How many is too many? Like, two is two too many? 2 insurrections? No. 2 diddles? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if she was messing with some of the younglings and they're in training, man, this is, this ain't the time.
That pent up sexual tension and aggression amongst the younglings is what helps them focus and train their swords so much.
Yeah.
Good to know that y'all have
that. Well, this is because of my brother.
Brian is obviously the best.
I like it. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, like, it's helpful, right? Like, it leads them to Leandrin's belongings, which they're obviously going to have an interest with because they have a grudge, rightfully so.
But we hear that all their belongings were burned. These were none of their real belongings.
Yeah.
Swan says, no, I burned all this shit and kicked Elsa off 10 days ago. So that's what I'm saying is this was all fabricated by Lanfear, and yet it is entirely helpful. And is it because she's in love with Rand and wants to protect him? And I mean, I'm confused.
We think that Lanfear would throw one of the greatest parties, right? Like those big intricate parties where you got solve mysteries together and get to the end of some sort of, this is really intricate. There's a locked door, seals on all 13 bags, right? This was a very involved plan, and it just made me, man, I think Lanfear would throw a great party.
You're right, or a cool scavenger hunt.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's got a nightclub called the Daughter of the Night, so even if she doesn't, she should.
She'd be huge on Instagram in modern times.
Oh yeah.
She's an Instagram influencer for sure.
Oh yeah. She would be the I just blanked on the name. The Kendall Jenner, maybe, of Instagram.
Who?
Maybe yep. Kendall Jenner. Maybe the Kim Kardashian. Who knows?
Yep.
She wouldn't even have to get surgery. If she wanted to do something about change something about her appearance, she could just mask and mirrors it, which is the ultimate filter. So
if another Aes Sedai walked by and saw Egwene talking to Lanfear, would the Aes Sedai just see Egwene talking to air? A certain person will see, or does she have to whoop herself into the mirrors world? How does that shit work? It seems like a big risk for her to be exposing herself like that.
I mean, but you got to risk it to get the biscuit. So.
Talking to Edwin, why is she letting herself be known like this? Is she just kind of slinging dick, trying to be Rand's mine, or does she have a bigger reason for doing that stuff?
You mean when she lies to Egwene about Leandra and stuff?
Well, yeah. It just she keeps exposing her real well, not her real looks, but like she's exposing like her kind of silver moon, beautiful persona quite a bit already. And I just was wondering if you ever thought about why she continues to do that.
But I mean, like at the same time, she probably figures from like past experience doing this that by the time anybody can even figure out and tell them that she is not who she portrays herself to be, that she'll be long gone, and they'll just be left wondering who the fuck was that. So, I mean, it's fairly low risk because she also knows that at any second that she wants to, she can. Because at this point, like the White Tower hasn't rediscovered traveling, which a Lanfear obviously knows. So she can just be like, okay, that's enough. Bye-bye.
Right. And it's in the next chapter that ran, or not in the next chapter, I guess. No, it's in a couple books where he starts to skim before he travels. But that just takes away all the like portal stones and ways and stuff. Once you start skimming and traveling, I mean, you have leveled up significantly.
Oh, it's like unlocking fast travel in Skyrim.
So speaking of leveling up, Nynaeve in this chapter also creates a fucking crowbar to break a chain. She gets all mad. She's like, "Ugh." She creates a crowbar. She looks at the chain and she's like, nope, not big enough. And the crowbar like doubles in length. But in the meantime, Egwene was manipulating the chain with earth, wind, or fire. Burn, baby, burn. But and then she falls on her butt, and then the crowbar disappears. Besides Rand and his sword, which is a physical thing that he manifests, do we see anyone create something like a crowbar out of nothing in this series that you remember, Andrew?
I mean, Rand creates fire swords out of nothing.
You're right. Besides his swords, and that was my caveat. That was my caveat.
Sorry.
Besides his swords,
I was also reading while you were talking. So
do we see anyone who creates something physical like that, like a crowbar to break a chain, or a sword even? Do the Ashaman do any in the Black Tower? Do they create swords and stuff?
no, because they all carry like actual swords.
Mm-hmm.
So, because that's part of their mandatory training, so they can still fight even if they can't channel. So, I don't know if we do. Like, I don't remember the physical description of Nynaeve creating a pry bar out of air. I don't know if it was like something.
Here, I'll find it while you're talking right now.
Yeah. Because I mean, it's a team effort, which is great. Because Egwene is like, I'm going to channel Earth and make the chains weaker. So she like pseudo metal bends the chains.
But then, like, Nynaeve gets herself all pissed off. She's like, out of my way!
Right, so I got it here. It says, move out of my way, Egwene. She looked around and saw Nynaeve wrapped in the glow of Sidar and holding a pry bar so close in color to the blue-white of the light that it was nearly invisible. Nynaeve frowned at the chain, muttered something about leverage, and the pry bar was suddenly twice as long. Move, Egwene. And then she, thrusting the edge of the pry bar into the chain, Nynaeve braced it and heaved with all her strength. The chain snapped like thread. Nynaeve gasped and stumbled halfway across the hall in surprise, and the pry bar clattered to the floor. Straightening, Nynaeve stared at the bar to the chain in amazement. The pry bar vanished. So the fucking thing clattered on stone.
So, like, she made something that was so dense with air that it was a physical object that maintained its status as a physical object after use and after her physically letting go. I mean, you don't technically have to hold it for it to maintain, like for it to still exist because it's a weave. And it seems like she was more so like just kind of focused on trying to open them. It was like, oh, I wish I had a crowbar. Focused so much on that. And once she realized exactly how well she had done, she was kind of shocked at herself, I guess.
Dan, I noticed that Egwene do that thing where she's like, oh, I memorized how you did it by watching you, right? Like, she saw Nynaeve do it, and she made no mention of wanting to learn how to do it, learning how to do it from seeing it, or anything like that. It was just like, oh, that happened, and then they moved on.
Well, it says here, Kev mentions Swan creates a sword from air and then turns it into a small knife. And that is correct. I think that's in the beginning of The Great Hunt.
Oh, good job, Kev. Yeah, you're right.
Well done.
Well, Daniel's here. He might have other ideas. He might remember other times if we want to bring him in.
Well, God, hold on. Let me
I can bring him in if you want.
No, let me introduce. We gotta. Oh yeah.
Hey,
Daniel,
Going.
my brother, you are older than me, ish. We'll flip a coin
I'm
on
probably a lot older than you.
that. Puppet, but then the
Yeah,
puppet.
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I was
Hey guys.
in 2016.
Something like that. Yeah.
Hi, Daniel.
How is everybody?
Oh, we're nice.
Nice. Excellent.
Nice. How are you?
I'm well. Just getting out of work, which is not being at work is nice.
Well, you came at a fun time. We're talking little theory stuff about the chapters that we talked about. And so in this chapter, I just read it aloud, but Nynaeve creates a crowbar to break chains.
Yes, she does.
The crowbar, she looks at the chain, she's like, leverage. The thing doubles in size. She goes flying. The crowbar that she created clatters to the floor. She stares at it, to the chain, and then the crowbar vanishes.
I use
Yep,
the same
sounds about
trick. I use the same trick instead of using the little blue pill. Just scream leverage and then
Just doubles in size.
just doubles in size.
You just mutter something about
like
leverage.
2 inches.
Yeah. I make it to 2.
Fulcrum.
Left side stronger than the right side. I don't know what is that. Indeed, yes, that is one of the more fun and interesting parts.
We were talking about what other characters besides Rand had ever created an actual thing, and we couldn't think of any until Kev reminded us that a swan, while training Egwene and Nynaeve, creates a sword, and she's like, "Oh, a sword? No, we should have something." And then she changes it into a dagger while they're on the ship from Faldara. So we do have where there was something created, but this thing clattered to the floor, so it was metal-ish.
Basically, it was dense. It was highly dense.
Yeah,
Very concentrated.
I don't think that most. I don't know if most Aes Sedai can do that shit.
Oh no, most of them. Well, I guess it depends on how. The real question there to me is, does the size of the thing or the density of the thing or some combination of both make it difficult for Aes Sedai who aren't as strong as Nynaeve to do it? Because one of the reasons that it's so dense and that she can just be like, oh, cute, I'm going to double this in size is because Nynaeve is so stupid strong. But I feel like most Aes Sedai would have a problem with one aspect or the other. They'd be able to make an incredibly dense, like, screw or, like, a relatively dense crowbar, but they couldn't do both. And I'm wondering, I'm curious which one's harder, size or density.
That's a good question.
Right?
I'm so glad you made it.
It's the age-old question.
It really is.
I would love to.
I guess we have a planetary reference here. That Jupiter, with enough air pressure, you can or enough pressure, you can turn air into metal.
Indeed.
Is there metallic oxygen?
I think we saw them at Coachella, Ryan, didn't we?
Good one. They had great sound.
I mean, so solid oxygen does change from an insulating to a metallic state, and at very low temperatures, it does something else.
So basically, what you're saying.
So here's a question. Making something that dense from air, would it suck all the air out of the room? That's a lot of matter to compress air into a solid.
Or is it, as Village Mattress said, is it metallic hydrogen? I know that's made on Jupiter. That it's metallic hydrogen that's made on Jupiter.
The answer is the room airtight? Because if the room isn't actually airtight, then air rushes into the room as she's pulling it into the construct, therefore just making all of the air in all of Tyr a little thinner.
Oh, it's Saturn as well, apparently.
Yeah, one of those
as a liquid
will rain metal, and another planet rains rocks. I think like volcanic rocks, just rain. Yeah,
dude, that's nuts.
We got
also it is a little bit of a question of how you're defining, and I know that this is a little semantic, but how you're defining creating something, because the Mistress of Novices and whatnot, the Shan use a different, weirder, gross way. But like the Mistress of Novices and whatnot regularly like switches novices and things with air. And so is that actually sort of creating a switch, or is that just moving the air incredibly quickly to make it feel like a switch?
Well, you can do it with nitrogen too. Under intense pressures, nitrogen can move into a metallic state. So if you think about it, I mean, I don't think that Nynaeve is going to do anything to like separate, like, oh, she's only super condensing and compressing and pressurizing the oxygen, or just the hydrogen, or just the nitrogen, but just
so
air
it's
in
a
general.
polymer or an alloy.
Yeah, but, I mean, if you're turning it metallic, it'd be like a high pressure alloy.
Neil deGrasse Tyson would tell us all of the reasons that we're wrong in an incredibly dickish way. So I'm really glad he's not here.
With mango tie.
Let me tell you why it rains rocks on Mars.
Yeah, right.
1,001 reasons how you're wrong about metallic gases.
Also, in your graphic, you have the planet moving in the wrong direction. So fuck you and fuck your whole show.
So there's that. And
you call yourselves the way of the leaf. It should be the way of the scientific inaccuracies.
What the wrong way of the leaf? Can we call it that?
Anyway. But this is cool. I can't think of any time that anybody necessarily like makes something in terms of like a physical object, other than Rand and the two examples there of Nynaeve and Stuan. And then, as I said, maybe like a few examples of they don't actually make like, or they don't actually notice or whatever, but there is like a switch that they could see behind them, slapping them on the bottom.
Well,
if they actually looked.
To your point with that, I see it as being just a manifestation of the element. So if you want to make a fireball or a light globe or something, this is all manifestation of fire and air. And
that's fair.
With the switch, because I think that doesn't like Rand pinch someone's ass or something. I mean, it's
or
not
Egwene and Elaine.
Yeah, so you can manipulate air enough where it can like caress a buttock and be and give a pinch. I think this is just deft manipulation of the element itself. I don't think he's making fingers that pinch, or I don't Wonder Twins.
He's not playing Tune In Faldara.
he's just casting Unseen Servant from D&D. That's all it is.
Twice.
He's just mage handing. He's just this right here.
It was a third person in the igloo.
I cast Unseen Servant, and I would like to sexually harass Elaine.
Yep,
Okay.
basically.
You rolled a 20. Okay. Okay.
I could see RJ now just being like, okay, what do we have him do? Roll the d20. Okay.
Roll the die.
Well, okay, so this
I do as the dice guy.
actually, a number of times people have talked about how like RJ is somewhat prudish in terms of like he doesn't actually describe any of the sex scenes or anything like that, at least not from the perspectives of the people involved in it. Like he does actually do in Veins of Gold a little bit of extra description, but not from anybody doing the actual act. And now I'm actually just thinking that RJ knew that whatever he came up with that magic users would do in the bedroom would not be as interesting as what your imagination has magic users do in the bedroom. So he's just like, you figure it out. Fucking, they did that. Like,
yes. The answer is yes and yes. The green Ajah? Yes, they do that.
Like a 70-person orgy, and 68 of them are not real.
I think Kev helped solidify the point about like what would happen to all the air.
All right.
Yeah, with that.
Hydrogen liquid to gas has a volumetric ratio of 1.848, so to a solid would be many magnitudes greater again. Did that sound sciencey enough?
So technically, from a physics standpoint, for them to actually like solidify into a metallic-like bar, would probably yes indeed suck all of the air out of the room into that spot, and probably then some. Because that's quite a lot, and that's just right. That's not even counting. Yeah, that's not even. Yeah, that's only like you said the liquid to gas or the gas to liquid ratio.
Yeah.
So,
all right, so let's
maybe the physics don't fully check out on that one.
Oh,
if that's indeed how she's doing it, and it's not just
she would make a vacuum of space, especially because again, it's happening so quickly that you could probably get away with doing that just slowly enough that you could get enough air from outside of the room. Because I don't think the room she's in is airtight. But at the same time, if you did it all at once. Fucking suffocate in a moment. Like,
so that's the question. Have you ever been so angry that you solidified all the available air into a pry bar?
Nope.
Twice.
I also don't yank my hair out of my head via my braid when I get angry either.
Yeah. Only just real despair and sadness can get me that hard.
That's what it was. It was reinforced with like strands of hair that she had accidentally pulled out. So much closer to like
four strands
alchemy.
of hair for the base of the crowbar.
Yeah. She just alchemied them into straight iron.
All right, I'm going to shift gears and I'm going to ask a real Black Tower question here.
Oh shit!
And I'm going to back it up first with 2 quotes. One is from Scouting and Discoveries on page 244. Matt was kind of checking out his shit, and he says he tucked the dice cups into his pouch. With those, he can get all the clothes he needed. We go on to this chapter, A Way Out, where Matt gets the letter from Egwene and Elaine and Nynaeve, the get out of jail free card. This line says,
get out of jail free card. It's the do whatever you want whenever you want card.
Yeah, that's diplomatic immunity.
Yeah, exactly.
Diplomatic immunity.
I am the Amerlin seat.
It's been revoked.
Easy there, Elida.
This is a great question, and I want to address it.
Okay. Address this first before I finish then.
Like, can you read it? I can't. All right, so
use atoms.
Well, where'd it go?
Put it back up.
Away.
Does the power use atoms or just atoms? On what level does the power work? Quantum or atomic?
Interesting.
See, the way I think the power works makes that a easier question for me. I don't know about the quantum or atomic part, but like I don't think channeling actually creates fire or creates anything like that. I think it alters what atoms already exist. I don't think it actually creates anything. It just alters, like more like alchemy than anything else. Like more like
so you're
magical
saying that it
alchemy.
works on an atomic level, that which was the question, is that it actually modifies the atoms themselves from something to something.
Well, I mean, I think it could work at both, because you would have to work at the quantum level to create a hole in space-time to travel.
Well, that's Bellfire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think it's quantum.
So maybe it's both. Maybe like depending on how you use it, it can work on both an atomic or a quantum level.
When you have a Tavern, you're dealing with chance being adjusted and probabilities being manipulated, which I think would be.
So you're working on a domino.
Chaos, yeah.
And if these actions ultimately help Rand, then there's a fringe of his Tavernness that might actually assist.
But following the law of conservation of energy and matter, I think, is what Andrew's getting at. I think Robert Jordan followed that too.
Yeah,
I
he did.
don't think he followed that at all. I think he absolutely was
did,
like, you can fucking destroy matter and energy and things like that.
Well,
Balefire is almost guaranteed a like elimination of matter, which shouldn't actually.
So if all the threads are spun out by the wheel, then that means they get their origin from the wheel that's turned by the combined forces of the one power, right? Mm-hmm. And he has stated that once a weave has been used, the power then returns to the finite pool of power. So the same could be said for a burned out thread. That what has been removed is cut out of that section and returned back into the power to be spun out again differently. So the essence of it is returned to the core pool, but that part itself is gone. Because we can already break through space-time, which
pantomime of what you're talking about, of being removed and then returning.
You know, what we had with Moraine in the beginning was more or less a manipulation of elements. She was able to create wind. She was able to create fire from her staff that she whipped around while telling a story. She created a big bank of fog because there was a river around, and she manipulated the water molecules in the air and such. She wasn't making shit out of nowhere. Just, I need a crowbar, plunk. No, a bigger one, plunk. I mean, that, I don't know if Maureen
That is what crowbars sound like.
If you ever go by the crowbar section of any hardware store, that's all you hear.
That's the guy's name. He's like, all right, let me get Kronk. Can you come to aisle 4, Kronk?
And weeping children.
Yes.
All right, so let me get to my question. So Matt at one time mentions that, all right, with his dice cup, he can get all the clothes he needs. Another line, he says, a night with his dice would put him aboard a ship in the morning with a full purse.
Mm-hmm.
Is Matt a cheater? He does not have a doubt in his mind that he will succeed. This is before his luck had cut in. This is before he knew any of that stuff. Yes, sometimes he won, sometimes he didn't. But he did not, there was not a doubt in his head that, okay, if he was able to just go dice with those dice that he was looking at, that he can get some new clothes and get on board a ship with a full purse.
I feel like Andrew just typed is Matt a cheater into Google.
No. I was because I thought that Matt's luck started like not too far from the get-go. Well, at least after.
It starts here in this chapter. He goes he goes to some inns and he just doesn't lose, and that's when, or not this chapter, but when he runs into Tom.
Oh,
so
yeah, it does manifest in book 3.
So this is sort of my answer. I think that Matt has always been a little lucky. Now, I think that he also has dice and is successful enough, both from teachings of, his family, perhaps, or, friends or whatever, as well as now he's also been taught under Tom for a certain amount of time on the spray and different things like that. I think that he has dice that will guarantee he can win, and he's good enough with them that he can cheat while getting away with it.
Yeah.
However, I think that he's always been lucky.
Yes.
Just not to the point where he's necessarily like walked around being like, oh yeah, no, I've always played dice with the men at Emmons Field and I win all the time, always, way more money than I put in. But it is like he's always been lucky. And so in this, the dagger or the one power being used on him or whatever it is, or his Tavern nature kicking in and just like cranking his luck up to 11, or whatever the case may be, he ends up now, after leaving Tar-Valon, as a very heightened state of luck.
Yeah, well, he mentions in 30 that like he's always won more than he's lost.
Correct.
And he recalls that there were times where, with Huron and in Shinar, where 6 or 8 tosses in a row won for him.
Yeah,
because
that's
when he's talking about
play
gambling.
with him. But also, my contention is that only way that he beat Galad and Gawain is that he bet, and I think that his luck was activated a long time ago. I don't know exactly when.
Wow.
Shit.
Maybe with the dagger, but yeah,
That's a great one.
Maybe it was already before then, because there were never really instances before then that really easily tangibly showed his luck. Like, I think even the Aes Sedai mentioned that to have survived as long as he did with the dagger and survive as long as he did without the dagger was already pretty lucky.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe it's
never thought of that. Is a
maybe it's more tied to his time with the dagger.
yeah, I'm impressed, Ryan. That's a good one.
I thought that
So
was awesome.
Mashadar was born out of the greed of what the fuck was it called before it was Shadow Logoth?
Aerodol?
Aerodol.
Yeah, it was born out of the greed of the people of Aerodol. So what if that is kind of more so where his luck comes from, and then the Tavir nature just like Kaioken times 20s it.
Oh, right.
This luck goes to 11. Why don't they just make 10 louder?
Like,
Well, now it's one more now, isn't it?
it was some sort of luck-based trauma, but it was completely towards the dark side with Mashadar. But when he was healed, he kept that kind of like luck essence, right? Like,
Yeah.
getting it.
So if he doesn't take time to toss the dice, does he die? Like,
I'm sorry, what?
So when he all right, so he meets that footpad up on the bridge. He says, "Time to toss the dice," and he falls over.
Yep.
Yeah.
He needed to bet. I thought he had to like.
Yeah, Ryan, that's a fucking
don't know
solid. I love it.
I don't necessarily know if I totally ascribe to him needing to bet on everything, because I don't necessarily that bet means luck. Because when it comes right down to it, even in Emmons Field when he's a kid, he tells a number of stories of times that he gets out of trouble, for example, in ways that suggest that he's always been weirdly lucky along that line as well. And I have a feeling he did not have to go.
If he was lucky, he'd have a bunch of friends. He'd have like all the girls.
No friend. Yeah, and everyone, as soon as someone spirit breaks, they're like, that fucking Cauthon kid. He's like, it wasn't even me.
Yeah, but he also has never gotten like significantly in trouble or significantly like injured from any of the pranks he's pulled.
Yeah, but it's also not until after his run-in with the dagger that the luck becomes like super notable. Like he doesn't like he tells stories about when he was a kid about like, oh, I can't believe I got away with this. I can't believe I got away with that. But he's also always been like very kind of charismatic.
That's also
to some extent. Yeah. So he's a silver tongued little devil.
Okay,
after the dagger is whenever we start having things like the.
So is he a cheater or not? That's the question. I don't believe he's ever cheated.
I absolutely think that Matt did cheat. I absolutely think that he has a set of dice that is a cheating set of dice. I think that he doesn't use them after a certain point. I think that he just goes, fuck it, I'm going to win most of these anyway. Just use everybody else's dice. Never, like, get in trouble for cheating again. And then, of course, he still does. And has to, like, dude, I'm using your dice. Get the fuck out of my face. But, like...
Right.
At that point, he will play cards. He'll play any game... any city he goes to, he'll play their game. He's still winning. Like, I don't think
that's what I'm saying is that
right. But when he was younger,
this point is now when it changes, because after he leaves, because he basically dices almost exclusively from the time that he leaves Emmons Field until he gets to Tyr, I believe, and that's when he actually starts really playing like cards with the nobles and things like that, and then we'll go to another city and they'll play fucking Seven Dragon Ante, and he'll be like, "Great, let's fucking do it." And his
luck is established by then. Yes, yeah, he already knows.
The luck's there. Right. Anytime that luck is involved, that gambling is involved, that a non-guarantee of outcomes is involved, he is better than normal by a large margin.
Is it possible that Abel Cauthon was like the Tony Soprano of Emmons Field?
Yes. Abel Cauthon was absolutely the Tony Soprano.
Okay.
I mean, he didn't walk around like to different shop owners, and he never went up to like Bran Al'Vir and be like, "Hey, Bran, I'm going to need that protection money, or maybe something happens to this inn." But like at the same time, he was absolutely, that he had an interesting life before he went to Emmons Field.
You're in an isolated village and you make a living off of trading horses. You're not doing this daily, buddy.
Yeah, you're laundering money for somebody, and I don't know who it is, but this selling thing is
just
definitely
staring at a Trollic.
You're laundering money.
You do this on the night of my Beltane.
Yeah.
You come to me on this, the day of Beltane, and you ask me to commit murder?
Please, Abel.
But
please,
this is
Abel.
not justice.
But yeah, no, it's. I definitely think that Abel Cauthon was one of those people who was a lot more than he seemed, as just a horse trader in the Two Rivers. That he had his hand in a lot more pots and knew a lot more different things, and passed them on at least to his son, if not most of his children.
Right. I mean, I like to think of like Matt being like Tony Soprano's kid and like him getting in trouble. He was going to release a dangerous badger to girls on a green. But they're like, well, he's Abel's kid.
Imagine just grabbing an Achilles tendon of a 12-year-old and just ripping it out.
You're right.
That's why he never got in trouble. They didn't want to piss off the Dawn of Amon's Field.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Yes.
Which
Dawn of Amon's Field, I like that.
Let's be honest. If Matt regularly got reported on to Abel, and Abel would beat the shit out of him, but Abel was the only one who was allowed to beat the shit out of Matt.
Before every hit, it was, "You never get caught."
Yeah, exactly. No, he's not mad about the thing he did. He's like,
"He got caught."
What were you thinking?
Jesus Christ.
Always have an exit strategy.
I mean, so we talk about the cheating, and there comes a point where you have to think, and it's one of the things more I think about it. Early Matt, maybe he did, because he shows that he knows how later on when they're in, I believe, Abu Dar, because they go into the tavern, he's dicing against the noble, and like he and Tom are both like, "Here's how he was cheating. You should call the guards." Yes. And the guy's like, "He's a noble. Fuck off."
Right.
Yeah.
So if you know how, generally you've practiced it and tried it a couple times, and I don't see Matt avoiding the temptation. Just like there's a speculation that Matt actually drank a sip from Balzamon's cup.
For example, yeah.
Yeah,
What
I
do you
don't think
think?
he's really good at resisting temptation. Actually, we know he's not good at resisting temptation because he fucking takes the dagger. Or was it Tyr that happens in? Might have been Tyr. I don't know.
We learned earlier that the Aes Sedai were given a list of Ungrail and Saw Ungrail that were stolen. And on that list was a small, 2-inch die that was joined at a corner. And it says that it increases luck exponentially. And then they would test it, get 100, and flip of the coin, and et cetera, et cetera. Did we ever see that again in the story? Does that thing come back at all?
I don't think so. I think it's, if I remember correctly, it's just one of the ones that goes missing when Podon Fane shows up or whatever. Or not when the Aes Sedai leave, the Black Ajah sisters leave, which actually is almost a similar time.
After Matt gets healed.
It's after.
So, new headcanon, potential theory, to help hedge their bets on successfully healing Matt, they brought that with them, or just that it was part of the travel stuff.
Dropped it and left it inside Matt's ribcage.
Yes,
they just during surgery, they were like, "Fuck."
And then anyone who was definitely corrupt and definitely justly disposed tried to cover it up.
Here's
the repository deepfakes.
Here's one Matt would enjoy, and Nynaeve said in a voice much too light and airy. Item: a carved cluster of 6 spotted dice joined at the corners, less than 2 inches across. Use unknown, save that channeling through it seemed to suspend chance in some way or twist it. Tossed coins presented the same face every time, and in one test landed balanced on edge 100 times in a row. 1,000 tosses of the dice produced 5 crowns 1,000 times. She gave a forced laugh. Matt would love that. They're giving hints all over the place that Matt is a cheater.
I don't agree with that. I don't think that he actually has. And 2 things about that one right there is, one, if this was in the tower and they had it, cataloged, then Matt has no access to it prior to being in the tower. Once he's in the tower, I don't think he actually steals it. And number 3, I feel like while there are Terangrial that non-magic users can use, Matt seems to have no ability to channel whatsoever. And this at least makes the strong suggestion, if not the outright necessity of channeling through them caused whatever was happening.
Sure, and in fact, he's
unless Matt's got an Aes Sedai following him around everywhere, just channeling through this thing.
Oh no, it's not that, but it's a suggestion that Matt would dig dice that are predictable like that. I'm not saying it's those in particular. I'm just
maybe he's lucky enough that one would respond to his caress.
Right. I agree with you, Brother Dan, but I think she's more saying that Matt is the gambler of the group, and therefore Matt would appreciate dice, especially if they made him win more. Not necessarily that he cheats. I don't know if she knows that he cheats. And of course, again, we don't actually know that he cheats either. I suspect it, but we don't know it. We don't ever get a Matt POV while he's playing with Huron in Shinar or whatever.
We just see him very certain. We just see him.
We just have to be very certain about certain things that it does not seem like he was actually as lucky as he is leaving Tarvalon as he was before. And therefore, I feel like the only way that he could be as certain with just better than normal luck is if he knew the outcome was going to be good in his favor. And that suggests cheating.
Or Tavern, and that leads me to my next question real fast, is that I was thinking Rand is in the next chapters coming up, Rand, they're going to follow a row of carnage of Tavernness in 4 villages where there's weddings, there's fights, there's all kinds of weird shit going on because of Tavern.
There's people falling from 12 stories up and not dying, people falling from inches off the ground and die. Yeah,
it's dying. So why was Edmund's Field so relatively non-chaotic? There were 3 Tavern. There were 3 Tavern in one town, and we don't see any of these things happening at all. So either they were baby Tavern, or
so the Tavern-ness, the whole thing about being Tavern is that it's the pattern guiding the Tavern themselves and assisting the Tavern themselves in the track that it needs them to go,
or the other way around.
Yeah. So now we have Rand, who has elected himself to not be a part of the group, and the pattern needs him to be part of the group. So it creates a trail of this shit is fucky for the group to follow him and find him potentially.
Oh, do you think it's just the pattern leaving breadcrumbs?
Yeah, I mean, because they know he's Tavern, and they're going to look for strange occurrences, especially with Moraine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would actually say I like that theory. I really do.
I
actually want you to be right. I just did not think of that when I first read it, because when I first read it, I thought that it was a little like the X-Men.
Oh, I just thought of it now. Like I have never thought.
Oh, did you? Okay, yeah. No, what I was
we bring out the best in the Ashaman.
Right? When I was going through my, early reads and everything like that, I absolutely figured that it was a little X-Men-y, where until Rand actually channels, or until Matt picks up the dagger, or until Perrin starts talking to wolves kind of stuff, that the pattern doesn't need them yet. The pattern has not decided that it's their time yet, and they don't know that they can affect the pattern, so they don't. Regardless of which direction it goes, whether they can go ahead and fuck with pattern or pattern fucks with them, up until Winter Night, basically.
Do you believe that Glenn is correct?
Oh, I completely disagree with this statement.
Yeah.
That they were not Taviran. But I do think that Winter Night is when their Taviran kicked off, if you will, when it mattered, when it started to be a component of who they were and what they needed to do. Because again, as stated, the pattern needs them to do certain things. Or at least it needs them to do something. I don't think that the pattern actually pushes them into fate, but I do think it pushes them. It just does say, you need to do something. And therefore, I really like the theory that Andrew just brought up of the, I don't need you all to do exactly the same thing, but I need you all to be together. Well, Perrin, here's how you follow Rand.
So 2 things. The first is a joke. Winter Night is when they went from the light version of the Tavern app to the full paid subscription.
No ads.
No ads.
The ad-free version.
Yeah. The second is we see the pattern do this whenever it needs them to be together. It starts doing fucky shit to them. And later on we see the flashes of color that are associated to each one, and they can get glimpses of what the other one is doing and where they are. And it's the pattern saying, okay, get the fuck back together.
Right? Get the Beatles back together, motherfuckers.
Well, and Perrin makes a good point when Rand bolts and Moraine's like, "Oh shit, we got to find him," and he's like, "Well, you keep saying the wheel weaves as the wheel wills. Isn't this just the pattern doing this?" And she's like, "You don't understand. He doesn't know enough. He's in over his head." But Perrin has a really good point. Rand was itching to leave, and he left. And this is pretty much. I mean, if it's not Tavern, then it's just teenage angst, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But you can also make the argument that then the pattern would also know that Nynaeve would have an unquenchable desire and feel compelled to chase after him. So,
Moraine.
I would argue that Egwene left Emmons Field.
Oh shit!
Abruptly because of Tavern.
Well, here's a question that Ryan mostly presented. So Loyal left years before from the steading. Was this the pattern directing him through Tavernus to get to where he can help Rand when he needs it, or was Loyal just happened to be in the area and got sucked in?
Well, so then you have to ask the question: does the pattern set the stage, or does it make the most of what the stage is?
Correct.
With Tam.
Same with Tam Al'Thor.
Yep.
I mean, because then you can make the argument that Rand was, at least to some degree, to varying strengths as he grew, that Rand at birth was Tavern. Because
I believe
what was going on that made Tam climb the side of a fucking semi-active volcano?
Yeah, well, Tam went and killed Tigray and got the baby.
Cut it out of her.
Yeah.
We're back to this, all right?
We're back to evil.
And then wore a necklace of her ears.
No, not evil. No, you saved the world. Dan, that's gross.
What? Hey, it's war, baby. Sorry.
Yeah, Tam's not a scalper. I know. In Ryan's theory, he fucking stabs the grain in the face and takes their baby.
On this reread that I'm
RJ
doing,
he did write like from his Vietnam experience. So.
Ran later on, and
yes, yeah. On this reread, whenever someone speaks and then stops and seems surprised that they spoke so much, I instantly think, oh, it's because someone became a Tavern and made them do it. Taverness is not a permanent thing, and in fact, it can be momentary. And I think that there are more Tavern out there than meets the eye. We know that Swan has. Well, we know that Swan has the ability to see Tavern
more than me.
She sees Rand and she says, "Oh, he almost blinded me." Well, how many other Tavern has she seen? We haven't heard.
Well, I mean, I think you also have Tavern by proxy. I think Egwene is a Tavern by proxy. Because if the things that Egwene
basically are betrothed to a Tavern long enough, and it just rubs right off on you.
You got a couple Tavern sperms in her.
Yeah, if you can already tell that so the pattern can already tell that Egwene is going to be like the best shot at doing these things that are going to ultimately help the forces of good win. So when Rand needs somebody to ultimately become the Amerlin seat that is going to push back against him, but also work with him to make things work out the best way that they can reasonably do, then why wouldn't you have Tavern by proxy like Egwene? And that would explain so much of the experiences that Egwene goes through. Not saying that like she owes it all to Rand being Tavern at all.
Oh, of course not. Yeah.
But like in those like clutch moments where Egwene is like, I don't know what to do, or I'm trying to really make this hard decision, I don't know which one I should make. Maybe there's a little tug from Rand's Tavern pattern that says, go left instead of right.
Well, and also this is another, like, I'm going to get semantic for just a moment kind of thing of how much do you have to affect the pattern and or the pattern has to affect you to actually define you as Tavern. A nudge in the right direction one time in your life that just gets you to go the right way for the pattern, to get what it needs from you. I wouldn't consider that Tavern. Being the kind of person who's incredibly charismatic and just gets people to tell you things because you're just that kind of person and it feels Tavern-y because that also happens with Tavern. Not necessarily Tavern. I feel like it actually has to be a pretty strong, semi-drawn out time period for you to actually say Tavern about someone. For all of this different stuff.
A little arbitrary, Daniel. So what number will you put on that? A day? A week? I mean, and I'm not trying to mock, but it is. Yeah,
that is a question.
I'm answering your question with a question.
Yeah,
like a good Jew.
I don't know. It made me think about my mom. I guess I had a rough.
Could we all agree that no one would. This story would not have been successful without Loyal. Right? Like Loyal saved the day so many times, right?
Absolutely.
So
now, the question is, was Loyal sent to Rand by the Pattern because the Pattern knew that the only Ogier who was going to be as dope as shit as Rand needed was going to be Loyal, or would they have just found the next closest Ogier who would have been able to do enough, plus also like 3 other people who would have done the other dope stuff that Loyal does?
I like Ryan. I like Ryan's thing where this was set well in advance. This is what the web weaves. This journey, the whole thing with Tam, the whole thing with Loyal, the whole thing with even Rand's mom leaving Andor and Camelin and going into the waste. This was all they didn't have any choice about it. This was prophesized, and this was something that had to happen. And as the wheel turns in the next third age, this shit's going to happen again. This is all going to happen with very few different changes in it for the most part, because this is destined to be. So
interesting. I have a question for you, though, Brother Dan. Are you actually saying that there will be very little variance because each and every little piece of this actually needs to happen this way? Or is it these giant points need to be hit?
Exactly.
And therefore, how you get from point A to point B to point C to point D doesn't actually matter that much to the pattern.
No,
but you need to hit each of those things.
And this includes Rand choosing not to destroy the Dark One. Each and every third age, he decides to keep him around.
He decides to keep him around.
Yep.
You can stay.
They talk about like the lives of people when they're reincarnated. Like there will always be some variant of that same person, and they will always take actions that are within relative same significance of what they have done in every life.
But we learned that each time the age comes back, there's more change than the first, which speaks to like a chaos principle. Which right? So I believe this is a highly predetermined world, but the Dark One has added a kind of a chaos principle, which is almost like a virus in the web. And so I believe that the Tavern are coming and they need to like reset the code, and everything is highly predeterministic in every way. Except for, in my theory, Rand at the very end of the books, he had the only moment of free will that we see in the series is when he's, in the very, very, very end of the book, when he battles with the Dark One and rips him out of the pattern.
So as a reward for doing a good job, you now get true free will. Like you get to decide what you do for the rest of your natural life. We'll leave you. The pattern will leave you.
Yes. He and the Comies.
Ish.
He and the Comey.
They're fucking. They're chilling
because they talk about like the core events of each age with relative different, like with some differences, still all kind of happen to varying degrees. And whatever happens in between those core events, like those milestone events, have you been watching the What If series with Marvel?
Yes.
No, my kids are telling me about it. They say it's amazing.
They're 5 years old.
It's like alternate reality, though, right? Within Marvel Universe.
Alternate dimensions.
And there's a good example in there. There's an episode about Doctor Strange, and I'm not going to spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen it because you really should go and watch it. I highly recommend it. Whatever my recommendation is worth. I mean, I also highly recommend the Wheel of Time series, so maybe it's a good recommendation. I don't know.
But it is like, what if Spider-Man shot water instead of webs? Or I guess not something that
it's usually more existential than that, but yes.
Right. Yes.
What if Agent Carter took the super soldier serum instead of Steve Rogers? Or what if there was a zombie apocalypse, like that kind of stuff?
Yep.
I hear
like,
good things
kind of
about
one
it.
of those things. Like
It's very good.
if you have these anchor points in time where like you need these things to happen, and the time that they need to happen can shift based off of all the other events, then as long as anchor point A and anchor point B happen, then whatever happens in between has a bunch of fluidity to it. So like kind of like to what Ryan was saying, like you would have limited free will. It'd be like guided free will. So technically not really what we interpret as free will, but it's like it's the light version. It's not the paid subscription version of free will. And Rand and Nakomi get that.
Mm-hmm.
I think they win, and I don't think this story is just a typical turning of the wheel. I think this is a special case where, of all the Lutheran emanations, Rand was able to, because he had Tam as his dad, and Tam's the best, he was able to transcend and like really make a choice. Am I going to end time and end this predetermined world, or am I going to let it play out? And he let it play out because he loved the people who were living it.
Wait, because Rand had Tam as his dad and Tam's a murderer? What?
Yeah, because Tam murdered Rand's mom.
No,
He saved the
Tam
world.
met her in battle, and whatever, she gave birth. And he's like, oh, look at the baby. Or he's like, I went out looking for, he knew that there was a prophecy going to happen. And he made sure he was there and saw the pattern revealing himself and said, I need to take that 9-month-old pregnant lady out.
So here's the interesting thing, Andrew and Daniel, is that
I broke Daniel.
we take into account.
No, I'm just thinking of like he finds this pregnant woman trying to give birth on the slopes of Dragonmount, and he's just like, "Hey, are you okay?" And she's like, "This is so hard. I can't do it." And he's like, "All right, I'm gonna do two things: a horrible emergency C-section and put you out of your misery." And it's both going to happen simultaneously.
I mean, he was fighting in the IL War, so...
Yeah, it's warfare!
She's laying in the snow, and he walks up, and she puts her veil on, and he's like, oh, fuck, all right.
God damn
she fights back like she slaps him in the face with her placenta.
Give her the maiden's kiss. Okay, so that's the extreme version, is that Tam killed Tigraine. The less extreme version is that, yes, he went out searching for the baby, found the baby, and was like, I need to take this baby back and take him all the way to like a rural farm village and raise him in obscurity. And
Andrew and Daniel, the point that Ryan like also has made before is that the prologue ravens to the young adult version of the Wheel of Time, they have a different prologue. They don't have the Ilyena. They have where Egwene is doing like a sheep shearing festival, and she's like 11 years old. And Tam Al'Thor, Bran is going to tell a story to the kids. He brings them around, and they ask about the Tales of the Dragon. And he says, you know what? Tam knows them way better. Tam, why don't you come over? And Tam sits down and tells them the whole prophecy of the dragon, more or less.
Like a Gleeman.
Look what I got.
While Egwene is 11 and her son is 13. So you have that. Version. Yeah.
Wow. There it is.
So this adds a weird dimension to Tam's knowledge and background to his actions, when he is so well versed that he can tell a really good story about, and is pretty much all correct about the Dragon Reborn.
All the ladies want Tam, and he won't take a wife.
He won't take a wife.
You never know who's a dark friend.
He's got a mental list too. That's where Rand gets it from. That's why he won't take a wife. He feels too guilty. That
could be true. But I mean, he did teach him the Flame of the Void, which is just the one thing that helps him access the one power, which is, if we're going to believe that there are no coincidences in this book, which everyone's telling me to read it this way, then we got to take these conclusions to their logical It's a step.
Yeah.
Take these conclusions to their
if you
logical
don't-
conclusion.
So here's my question, Ryan. If you don't necessarily believe that anybody has true free will, then it would lend to the idea of reading it as if there are no coincidences, that everything is preordained to happen a certain way at a certain time. So
That's how I see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except for-
and we're all just players in the play.
don't hate the player, hate the preordained.
The world is a stage, and we are all merely players.
Yeah. Ryan, my hand's a little sore. Can we?
Yeah, we're breaking like a pretzel.
Okay. You want to break?
Yes.
Like a pretzel.
All right, we're going to take a 10-minute break. Ryan, I think, has music, perhaps? Okay.
Oh, my shit's super slow, but we'll see what I get.
My shit is super slow.
It's the Super Slow Show.
It's the
Super Slow Show. I know we know how to sing.
No, in the meantime. Time killer.
What the fuck?
Oh, you haven't seen that?
No.
Oh. Ryan, your voice is so funny. So that was Ryan just during the show, just yelling out at Bella, and did not stop for about 28 seconds. And then,
As the Dawn of Emmons Field, I gave him Bella's head in his bed, made him an offer he couldn't refuse.
Anthony, get in the fucking car.
Hey, leave the gun. Take the cannoli.
You trying to trade me this fucking horse? This fucking horse here? Are you fucking kidding me? This fucking horse? I checked its teeth. Thank you.
So you said this horse was 4 years old? 4 years old. I checked his teeth. He's 7. What the fuck are you trying to do?
You guys should have a competition to see, like, for like your followers of yours, see who can scream Bella the longest.
No,
just have it, like, as a collage video, and as people like stop saying it, like their video like drops out, and the last one like, wins.
It would just be like a breathing exercise at that point.
I mean, that was it. Improvised, impromptu. If I really quit smoking for a week, I could kill anybody in a chat.
Oh, I feel like I could yell Bella for like a minute and 12 at least.
All right, lung flex.
Lung flex.
Dan, there's no video, but I'll play some. Are you guys hearing the chatter in the background?
Yes.
Okay, so it will work. All right, everyone, just mute your mic, and we will take a 10-minute break.
I don't hear chatter.
You don't hear the background chatter?
No.
I thought you meant like you actively talking. Like I can hear you
me
talking.
too. Sorry, I can hear you actively talking.
Not a joke. That was not even a joke.
Do you hear this? Nothing's happening.
I hear.
Right.
That was prime time for a joke. You can like, do y'all hear these nuts?
Do you hear any music?
Nope.
I do not.
I do not.
Is this select your own music?
Motherfucker.
Ryan, we can just play the theme, the 5-minute theme twice.
Again.
No, I'm going to fix this.
Okay.
Here we go.
In the meantime, hey guys, so Luthen walks into a bar and says, ouch, because he didn't see it.
Fucking knew it. I fucking knew it.
All right, Luthen stuck in a box, right? He's like, 5 o'clock traffic, right?
Yeah.
This is like the 405 box, right? Right? You're hearing me, Daniel, right? 405.
I'm totally hearing you. Yeah.
You know,
There it is.
Well, I have a question for you, Dan.
Please.
Do you want to support the puppets?
Yeah. Oh, well, I've heard that there's all them perks.
Yeah. Somewhere like this weird, never really used website called patreon.com/the way of the leaf, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
But-
I mean, yeah. Why not,
You know-
right? I mean, why not?
I mean, but like I also kind of have a bad back. So like a good mattress is a fantastic thing to have in my life. And to think, y'all have got the scoop, the skinny on getting a good mattress, right?
Well, Andrew and Daniel, I mean, seriously, what's your mattress game like right now? Like, give me 1 through 10, like how happy you are with your mattress and pillows and bedding.
Mattress
a
9,
7.
9 and 7.
bedding
Okay.
10,
Uh.
pillows 5.
Well, pillows are pretty individual. In fact, I
Yeah.
travel with my pillow on a plane because I don't like
Right.
sleeping without it. I'm such a little boy.
Is it your emotional support pillow?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I take Hank with me. My
Your
pillow's
ESP.
Hank.
whoa.
Well, yeah. I mean, so 9 and 10, you're living a good life. You're sleeping well. You could probably get a new
Yeah.
pillow, but when you get into bed, you are pretty happy with your shit, right?
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of people that aren't. The people are just
Yeah.
dealing with stuff, and they don't really understand how nice their night could actually be.
Oh yeah. No, if you haven't done some experimentation and gotten yourself a good night's sleep, get your shit together. It's good.
Yeah, you go to a hotel and you're like, oh my gosh, look how luxurious this comforter is. Guess what? You can have that like every night. I mean,
Right?
it's not that special. Just
Correct.
get it. So if you want, we do have Village Mattress is a sponsor of this show. He's a fan of the community. He is a contributor to our chat, and he is a friend to most of us. He is offering 30 to 50% off of most of what he offers, and can ship it pretty much anywhere you live in the U.S. and maybe Canada even. I think they have sled dogs with mattresses. They mush them on up to the Yukon.
Yeah, Balto is very famous for getting mattresses and also vaccines to the kids in need.
That's funny.
Carried in like the little barrel underneath the dog's neck.
And it just has a pillow.
Yep.
My sleep number is actually Balto.
Is it?
Yeah.
I
Nice.
found my sleep number on the wall of a bathroom stall.
Yeah. Girl, for a good sleep call, dial.
It's just like the number of like someone who professional, like one of those professional cuddlers.
It's Village Mattress. Yeah, I wrote them on bathroom walls all across the lower 48. Ryan, do we have music or what? Nope.
The 5
All right, let's just do this.
All right, we're coming back soon.
Oh, yeah.
For better or worse. Oh, let's take that out off. Dan, I have no controls anymore. You got to take that off for me.
All right, I will. Give me.
But yeah, for sure, guys. It is a real ad for real shit. It's an actual ad. We have a sponsor. It is the most amazing betting you're ever going to get. I'm telling you, my cheat game just went ham.
Ham. You went ham.
All right, Daniel's not here.
Your sleep game from Mons Field to Cambridge.
Right. And in between was all them lumpy mattresses, all them hedges, all them sleeping in barns.
Yeah, hay bales, just sleeping on the hard packed dirt.
You know how many mice hang out in hay bales?
How many times I slept crying in Rand's lap?
Oh, go on.
You got to get rid of that thatched mattress and just settle on the more gaze mattress. That's what you really want.
Right.
I just discovered a new band. His name, he goes by Crywank. And I think that's the greatest band name ever. Crywank, one word.
That's awesome.
It's a pretty good name.
And his songs are all
resonates
sad.
for some reason. It resonates for some reason. I'm not quite sure why.
And literally, his first song on the first album that I ever heard from him says, "Hi, Dan. I love you. I miss you."
Really?
Yes.
Crywank. Guys. Go on, Crywank. Well, you know what, guys? We have welcome back. Thanks for hanging out. We had a break. I hope you liked it. I hope you loved it. We have a segment that we haven't done in quite a few weeks here, Ryan. We've been busy doing Watchinary. We've been doing What You Feeling. We've been doing all kinds of things. But, guys, I don't like to brag, and I certainly don't mean to gloat. But it's time to bring in our friend, A Time to Float.
Hey, guys.
Hello, Floaty.
That's a nice mug you got there.
Is that away the leaf mug?
I totally forgot. I'm so sorry. It's been a while.
Hi there.
Hey.
How are you?
Pretty good. How are y'all?
That's
Hey,
good.
before you go on, Brother Dan, is your dog upset that you stole his clothes?
My no. My dog is a socialist minded animal. My dog is like, hey man, my sweater is your sweater. It's all good, bro.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. You're just pointing it out now that I'm wearing a dog sweater?
Well, your arms are, once you put your arms up, they look really forward. They're like pushed forward like a little puppy. It's cute.
You're not wearing a dog sweater. The dog is wearing a puppet sweater.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
All right.
All right, Floaty, spill the beans.
Okay.
Did you like these chapters?
Oh, yes, I sure did. Given the logo of the chapter, it made me like it even more, especially chapter 25.
Oh? Well, let me see what that logo is.
Flamefair's sigil thingy-majiggy. She had it in the letter.
Would you get that tattooed on your body, Floaty?
Probably.
Oh, nice.
That would
probably.
Look good as like a nipple ring.
It does. It does kind of look like, or like one of those like ear.
So going
sphincters.
along with the logo, that makes me think that she's also the. What was the woman of darkness or whatever they were looking for? Well, what was that person called?
Ella?
For some reason, they had something like they had some sort of person they were looking for that was like have to do with like the night or whatever, the dark or the night, I
Daughter of
think.
the night.
So given the logo for Landfair, that makes me even more for sure that that's who she's supposed to be playing later. Given her hair is black, she wears white. The moon is white. So anyway, I was wondering from chapter 25.
Oh, go ahead.
I was wanting to talk about the 13 women they mentioned and how they chose, like how they think they chose who was a Black Ajah and who wasn't.
Okay, go on.
Pretty interesting.
All right, so they picked 2 of each of the Ajahs.
You're right.
And 1 of the red.
Yeah.
What did you make of that?
That was honestly very fascinating about how giving the process on how they decided all of this. So then that makes it easier to pinpoint who could be a Black Ajah based off of the Ajahs per se from that perspective.
Okay,
Well, the girls are thinking that it is too convenient, that it is too set up. There is no set pattern on purpose. Do you think that there are other Black Ajah within the White Tower currently, or do you think they all split?
Oh, yeah. I have another theory about Morgay. No, Sheriam.
Sheriam? You think Sheriam is a dark friend?
A Black Ajah, actually.
Okay.
I honestly think, as of right now, that she set up the whole thing with the door, it disappearing. That she set that whole thing up.
What door?
With the Gray Man.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It just magically disappeared when they showed up. And she asked nothing about who sent it, why it disappeared, who, any of that. That you would expect her to be asking questions about.
Mm-hmm.
So going back on topic. And then
Ben Butler says it's really good to see you, Floaty.
Awesome. So then tying back into the fact that it told us all the Tarangriel that was stolen made me think, okay, there's 13 Black Ajahs going to Tyr with Leandrian. And then I was like, well, what if each of the Tarangriel was one for each of them to turn Rand to the shadow?
Okay, so what we know of these Tarangriel, there is not a lot of use that is documented. It seems like...
yeah, I have a theory about that too.
Yeah, talk to me. What do you think's going on?
So then going back to Elsie Grimwall, I'm honestly thinking that's not her actual name and she's going under something else.
Okay.
And do you want me to tell you who I think that is?
Please.
The one and only Landfair that is also going by Selene. It just fits that she's not an actual person versus she's going under another name to not like expose herself per se.
Well, let's talk about Tel'aran'rhiod.
Yes.
We meet poor old Sylvie. She mentions poor old Sylvie. She doesn't even say her name without saying poor old beforehand. Who is Sylvie?
Wasn't she like the servant of like one of the ends?
Oh, okay. And she just happens to like hang out in the Dreamland
for some reason, apparently.
Okay.
Or it could have been a manifestation of Egwene going into there, is why she possibly could have shown up, since Egwene like knew her personally per se.
Okay.
And to weave it that way.
She saw Perrin with a wolf.
Yep.
Perrin had chained himself to a pillar.
Oh yeah.
And then she sees Rand, and Rand alludes that he has had some difficult dreams.
Yeah, I bet so.
Yeah, where he's always chaining Parana pillars in his dreams. Is that what those dreams?
No, where his mom brings him poisoned honey cakes. His dad tries to stab him in the ribs.
So honestly, I don't even think that's his mom.
So what do you think? What's going on?
I'm honestly thinking it's somebody worked for the Dark One using the mom's body, just like how I don't remember which chapter it was, but then one of them had a dream where all their loved ones were killing them. Similar scenario.
No, been there, done that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Saturday night right there.
Exactly.
And gentlemen, if you, Floaties here for all of us. So if you guys have anything you want to ask,
he's at our service.
Yeah. Anything else about the Dreamland that you wanted to?
Oh yes.
Talk to me.
When Egwene finally sees Tear, the Stone of Tear, and the sword, I was like, "What the hell? Oh my god!"
Well, this is where she meets poor old Sylvie, and poor old Sylvie swings a stick. Bam! And it just hits an invisible barrier.
And I assume that invisible barrier is what's keeping the sword in its place, floating in the air. That random obviously takes at the end of the book, based off of the hardcover cover, like we all know.
It could be a dream.
You could have dreamt it.
Could have been a dream. So there is a man who comes to gaze at the sword. Who do you think this is?
I'm thinking somebody working for the Dark One, trying to or one of the Black Ajahs trying to scope and be like, okay, one of them is here, or one of them is going to be at the stone eventually. And then just be like, okay, getting ready for them showing up. For example, I think that the Black Ajah will be setting a trap for when they arrive.
We actually know who it is already. I'm pretty sure it's Lord Ligma.
Doesn't ring a bell.
What? You don't know Lord Ligma?
Too many characters.
Daniel, do not do this to our guest. Well done, Floaty. You evaded the trap. You rolled a 19. You successfully got around that trap. Daniel had laid for you. Well done.
It's true. Maybe you'll be like Rand in the Black Ajah. Or maybe Rand will be like you for the Black Ajah. We'll see.
We'll see.
They won't fall into the Ligma trap.
Going back to Men's dream about going through the trap without setting it off makes me think, okay, she may not set it off, but the other three girls will, and then something will happen to them. Not as extreme, I assume, as what happened to Egwene with the collar, but something else. Because obviously, the Black Ajah don't want them following them, so they can get to Rand first. And so they can't help him, sort of scenario.
Okay, yeah. Interesting.
As we all know, they're all going to Tyr at this point.
Right, so they are all going to Tyr. And the girls were pretty much directed because of a trap, more or less. Swan had said that she had sent no message about any of the things. Elsa had bring that message. The girls went down and found everything indicating to go to Tyr.
Oh yes, going off.
They
of
go
that,
down in an ideogram.
Based off of that, when I read that, made me think, okay, this is all coming together. It tells us why the Black Ajah is going to Tyr, why they need to go to Tyr to stop them, to save Rand from getting the sword, from breaking the world all over again, causing it to go into chaos once again, which obviously none of them probably want.
Okay.
And then going off of that again, didn't they say that there were other ways that the dragon will proclaim himself?
Such as, where's that? Besides just
taking the sword and all that, breaking the world.
Yeah.
So could go in two different ways. He takes
what are you
thinking? He takes the sword, ends the world, proclaims himself that way, or they stop him in time, and then he proclaims himself in one of their other ways they mentioned.
I remember that bit because I think one of the other options for the dragon actually announcing himself is a long, drawn-out interpretive dance. And Rand elects to not do that one, which is probably a good idea since he's not very good at dancing.
Is this another trap?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
I could just tell.
Floaty's a first-time reader. He's just a little bit past where we're at. So
I'm
making sure that all of my jokes are very much not ruining anything.
Yeah, they're just so absurd.
They're just so absurd. Exactly.
I appreciate it.
It's
hilarious, to be honest with you.
Let me ask you one final thing here, Floaty. In the next chapter, Matt gets a note to take to Morghese, and he also gets a note that reads, "What the bearer does is done at my order and by my authority. Obey and keep silent at my command. Swan Sanche, Watcher of the Seals, Flame of Tavalon, the Amerlin Seat." She gave the girls 2 of these notes.
Oh, yes.
And they gave one away to Matt.
Yep.
What are your thoughts?
So at first, when I first was reading it, I was like, okay, they're giving it to Matt, which I obviously knew, since he wants to leave, and he's willing to take the letter to Morghese, just so he can leave the Aes Sedai area.
The letter to Morghese seems kind of... I mean, was Matt the only option to get a letter to Morghese?
Probably not, but they could see that he wanted to leave so badly from them, so is why I'm thinking that they chose him instead of somebody else to like help him get out of their clutches per se.
Okay.
So then they'll have to go on and try to find him on their own terms.
To be fair, I will also throw out there, to be fair, Matt is also one of the only non-Aes Sedai that they could ask, and seeing as how they just got told very recently that the Black Ajah is real and you can't trust fucking anyone, maybe the one guy who actually wants to get out of Tar Valon and go to Andor might be the right option for the person to give this to instead of one of the 87 Aes Sedai with S names that might just be dark friends.
Versus they don't think they can trust anybody in that White Tower anymore. Being told that they're dark black Ajahs roaming their halls.
But we can assume that the Amerlin wants Matt around, right? She told everyone to fucking not let him leave.
Yeah.
And Matt did blow the Horn of Valyr.
Right.
Were the girls now justified in having him do a personal errand, not an errand based on the Amerlin? This is a personal errand. Hey, give this note to my mom. Here's the get off the island free card.
Get out of jail free card is what you refer to it.
Yeah, which is the exact contradiction to what orders the Amerlin herself has set.
So that brings me to another point.
Go ahead.
Regarding the contents of the letter. I know this may be far-fetched, but now that I'm thinking back on it, I'm thinking, well, they could have chose Matt to deliver it, since maybe they could trust him delivering something that might contain confidential information that they don't want to get the wrong hands, like the Dark Friends or all of them, to incriminate any of them.
Okay.
Or the Gray Man, for example.
So he would be bait, and they would chase him and leave them alone?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
And then that brings me to another point again.
Okay. You're the best, Flip.
So then, going back to one of Egwene's dreams about these invisible things following Matt.
Uh-huh.
So that made me think, well, going back to this scene, it could have been the Gray Men following Matt this whole time, delivering the letter without him knowing it, because he can't see them, like Egwene mentioned later.
Cool. I like that take.
But then I'm like, well, Egwene's dreams are similar to men's viewings that happen, they're like for the future, but then made me think, what if some of them have already happened and she's getting dreams about what's already happened, for example? And not so much always what's going to happen in the future.
Okay.
And some things that have yet to come to pass.
Beautiful.
I have so many other theories I'm not going to get into since we probably don't have time for that.
Well, no, but you do have a blog. Can you
do.
go ahead and tell people? We have it in the description, right, Ryan?
I saw that. Yes, y'all do.
Okay, awesome. So it's in the description. Floaty, it's been a while. We love when you're on. You have the best theories. We love hearing your thoughts. And we will see you next week. We'll be on next week.
Yeah.
So
get to read, you filthy animal.
Yeah, get to reading, you filthy animal. Until then, we love you, Floaty.
Which chapters are next week?
We are doing 4 more chapters.
So then 29 through 34?
32. 29, 30, 31, 32. Yeah. All right. Bye, Floaty.
Bye.
Love
Have a
you.
good night.
Have a good Sunday.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Okay. So we have we love Floaty. And guys, read his blogs. His insight is actually fucking fantastic.
He's an astute reader.
He's a very astute reader. So last time you guys were on, you became our new best friends. And I read you 5 quick questions, I believe. But there's been a couple addendums to the question. So let me ask you a couple of the questions that we are now asking our new friends because it matters. And it's part of the initiation. So are you... Say it again, Ray?
For the annals.
For the annals.
Are you
for the anal nitrates. For the anal nitrates. All right. And Daniel, you are muted, so you know. So let me ask...
one of my roommates is watching a baseball game. So
no sweat. Okay.
Trying to make sure that it's not interfering.
Guys, what was your... I'll ask Andrew first. What was your first concert?
My first concert. It was... so back in South Carolina.
It could be a concerto also.
My first concert that I can remember, I know there was one before, but I can't remember it. It was hosted by 93.5 FM. It was called Fall Fest. And it had, I think it was like Mumford & Sons, Cage the Elephant, Fair to Midland. It was pretty dope. I went with my now fiance.
Was that a celebration of bungee jumping?
Fall Fest? You dummy.
It just happened in the fall.
You
Fall Fest and then also Come Back Up Fest?
Yeah. Boing.
I mean, they did definitely emphasize, the getting down and getting back up again. So
Mumford and Son, Cage the Elephant.
Was Chumbawamba there?
I'm sorry, I heard like 3 questions. What?
Was Chumbawamba there? Is what we said.
Okay.
And on Fair to Midland was the best band that played. I'm not a huge like Mumford and Sons or Cage the Elephant fan.
I like Mumford and Sons.
Do you
I
like
don't think
the
they're bad. It's just not my-
I like dudes headbanging with trucker hats and banjos. I like an overall or two, denim overall.
It was all very soft music, and I tend to prefer like harder, more like thrusty in your ear hole music.
Thrusty in your ear hole, Ryan.
Yeah.
Remember that when we see them at the convention.
Softer stuff. I don't want people to jam things in my ear holes.
Well, I like people screaming in my ears because it reminds me of my childhood.
There
Sorry,
it
Dad.
is.
Damn.
There it is.
Reminds me of my dad. Mosh pitting.
Lord help him. He's not dead. He just needs help.
And and last question. I don't know if I asked this of you guys before, but you walk into a town, and the answers may have changed. So let's.
Do you want to ask Daniel the same question?
Oh, Daniel, fucking A. What was your first? Yeah. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Thank you, Andrew. Daniel, what was your first concert?
Ooh, that depends a little. So it's sort of.
Andrew, I gave him like 10 minutes to think.
Yeah, no, you were going second, and you still don't answer.
Andrew, I knew this. Andrew, I knew it.
So the answer is the very first one that I ever actually attended was up at the Rave in Milwaukee, and it was Motion City Soundtrack was headlining with, I don't actually even remember who else was there, but it was very similar to Motion City Soundtrack. But I had actually gone to one before that where we were actually one of the acts. And we were actually the very first band opening for Boys Like Girls. So I didn't actually get to really watch the concert because I was in it.
Hold on,
again,
you played at your very first concert.
Correct.
You never saw live music before you being at a concert backstage and playing and shit.
No, but also yes, because again, it depends on what you're like. I went to go see musicals. That kind of counts as a concert. I went to go see a symphony orchestra when I was 7 that I do not remember at all.
He did say concertos.
Can we count the animatronics at Chuck E. Cheese? Because so mine is
yeah,
much
see, because now you're talking about like I think the very first one I ever went to was my sister's like 4th grade band concert. I think that's actually the very first one that I ever went to. I didn't know if that counted, so I left it out.
No, I was talking like okay, and I don't mean I'm trying not to mock at all.
No.
It's just
But like
I
my
never
very first
had someone say,
major
"Well,
concert.
the first concert I was at, I actually opened for him." So, I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Well, he did it on a dare.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
No, Boys Like Girls was just like, I bet none of you bands will open for us, and then we were like, bet, and then we did. It was great.
So, what was the name of your band, Daniel?
We were called Forever Feels So Far, and we were sophomores in high school.
FFSF.
Yeah,
really rolled off the tongue.
Forever Feels So Far. And what was your favorite song that you played? And what did you play?
I played bass and sang. And then we had one guitarist who was exclusively a guitarist, the front man who played rhythm guitar and sang, and then a drummer who was terrible. And I didn't like him very much. But we had a song called Together Forever that I don't actually even remember at this point. But it was a song that our frontman had written when he was an 8th grader in middle school. And I'm guessing that if I heard it at this point, I would very much make faces because I can guarantee it was not very good. But it was my favorite song that we did.
Nice.
I was a band in 6th grade, or in a band in 6th grade.
Right?
What was it called, Andrew?
The failed abortions.
Ah!
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
The failed abortions in 6th grade. You guys were 11.
Wow.
What,
The doctor said my mom should have had an abortion.
What did you play, Andrew?
Bass.
Look at I'm surrounded by bass players.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, see, even an 11-year-old can play bass. Is that what you're saying, Dan? Is that what you're fucking saying?
No, I'm saying if you guys need a drummer, let me know, I guess. I'll be here. I'll be over here tightening my skins, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You just want to bang on these drums all day?
I do not want to work. All right. It is confirmed. You guys are still our new best friends. Welcome. Yeah.
What's the last question?
That's right. There's the fucking. All right.
All right. So you want,
and I may have asked this. I may have asked this to you guys, but I'd like to hear. The answers may have changed. So you walk into a bar. You have 1 hour to hang out at one of 3 tables of extremely, gloriously, lovingly, openly wanting to be verbose, kind of drunk people. At one table is Tam Al'Thor. At the other table is Alan Mandragoran. And at the third table is Asmodean, the Bard of Hate. Well, you have 1 hour. You can only hang out at one table, and they will answer pretty much happily any question you may have. Whose brain do you pick? Do you sit at Tam's table? Do you sit at Land's? Or do you sit at Asmodean's? I'll let Daniel answer first.
Door number 2 or door number
All right.
3.
So my actual answer is I would sit down with Tam. I think that he had an insanely interesting life and would love to pick his brain about different things. But that's also a very mild loophole because you know that if Asmodean is anywhere in the tavern, you're going to be listening to Asmodean as well. So the answer is Tam with a little Asmodean sprinkled on the top.
Okay, but Land's out of the equation.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think that Lan has had a really interesting life, and I think, but at the same time, I feel like it's more in aspects that I'm less interested in. It's bonded in combat more than, not more than anything else, but more than I would be interested in personally. I think you can
learn about the bond. You can learn what
you could
the fatigue sort of thing is with them. You can learn what it feels like when Maureen comes. Like, Lan, do you feel that?
I feel like, but to be fair, I feel like you could find that out from a lot of other people as well. And I feel like there are a number of other characters in the Wheel of Time that you don't even need to get drunk to talk about that stuff. And they'll just be like, dude, every time that oh God, Androl, I feel
Androl's just having a beer and he's like, yep, she just came. Oh God.
Yeah, okay. It happened just
Drinks.
now.
Yeah.
All right. No. You know who else I feel like would absolutely tell you that without being drunk is fucking Logain. Just hang out with Logain for 5 minutes and one of his Aes Sedai bonds will absolutely come.
And I guess that this question should have the caveat, there's a fourth table that you can add a person to and talk to them.
Hey.
But I feel like that would generally change the question. I feel like it should either be you have to pick one of 3 or you get to make your own. Not you pick from 3 or make your own. I feel like
I mean, and I like my 3 choices.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
I hope Ryan's okay because all I heard was "Hey," gone,
and then he turned sideways and then bolted.
Yeah.
That's all right. I know this part. I can handle this part of the show.
And then slid the fuck out.
Yeah. No, but I don't want to.
You have asked this before, not with the caveat of adding somebody.
Yes. Just the three choices: Asmodean, Tam, Lan.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Tam, it's going to be a lot of like old war stories from the IO War. I feel like Lan is like, he may be drunk, but even still, like, you're going to be the one giving him information still. So I very much, just like last time, I still stick with my last answer, Asmodean, just because of how much breadth of history that he's been around for. So I'm trying to learn shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like about the world, not about like Lan and his adventures, like getting tossed in a pond and shit.
And I think you have the right answer, Andrew.
Or a pond tossed on him, whatever.
I think it is Asmodean as well. You can learn about the Dark One. What's that all about? And like, what's the Dark One like?
Dude, but you have the possibility the entire time that someone's just going to come up and kill Asmodean in the middle of your conversation.
Oh, so you're adding all these variables. No, I'm just saying you have an hour to hang, bro.
No, I know.
And in fact, Asmodean has some pretty good weed with him. I should have mentioned
he is the emo bard. He's gonna like smoke doobies and sing.
He's the
30th the Black Parade.
I think this is actually a good question, and these are good choices. And while I did make a choice, I do think that Asmodean and I would have a lot in common, and so I certainly would enjoy an hour hanging out with Asmodean. We both really like the Dark One. We both play music. We've both been alive for thousands of years. It's a lot in common.
I have slumbered for 1,000 years.
But
anyway. Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
Ryan, if you're talking, Ryan, we can't hear you. Nope. Or are you doing like a dying Asmodean?
Ryan seems like he's in like a shipping container.
Okay. It's not just me, thank God.
Yeah, like Dexter or something. The other side of the wall is covered in plastic.
He's currently in transit across the Atlantic, and he's like, "Man, this satellite
internet sucks."
Right? He's like doing that. Oh boy. You know the best thing for seasickness is to eat a can of sardines.
So you just go ahead and throw up?
Yeah, no, it's Ryan, say what up, motherfucker?
Poor Ryan's got some bubbles of evil in his tech.
Ryan's got a bubbly of evil. The tech monster. Fuck it.
A bubbly of evil.
Well, okay. Well, our next thing that we are going to do is as soon as Ryan's back, but we're gonna do an improv game. A little improv game, Wheel of Time improv game. So what we're gonna do is it's going to be What You Thinking, I think is the title we are coming up with.
Okay.
And essentially the way we play is we go 3, 2, 1, and say any word that you want from the Wheel of Time.
Check.
Whoever's playing with there you go, Ryan. Whoever is playing will say a word as well. None of those words can be any of the characters from Edmund's Field. Well, the major characters from Edmund's Field.
Okay.
Can't say Rand, Land, all these people. Yeah, I guess you can say Marin. You can say. So we are just going to say words, and we are going to try to get to the same word.
Oh.
If that makes sense. And Ryan, are you there?
Can you hear me?
I can. Yes. All right.
Awesome.
I'm not sure I understand, but I'll figure it out.
We will do it. So Ryan and I will give you an example. We'll play one now, and we will try to figure out what each other are thinking. We'll get to the same word. All right, Ryan. We will say 3, 2, 1, and then the word. Okay?
Yes.
All right. 3.
And the subject's like Italian restaurant. Wait.
The subject is your favorite appetizer. Tapas. All right. No, there is no subject. Ready? It's wheel of time. Ready?
Wheel of time.
3, 2, 1.
White Tower.
All right. White Tower and Camelin. Okay. Well, this seems pretty easy.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Galad.
Tarn Ferry.
What'd you say?
What?
Tarn Ferry.
Tarn Ferry. All right. I said Galad and Tarn Ferry. All right. Let's try and figure. All right.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Whitebridge. All right. You said Morgase. I said Whitebridge. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Min Farshaw. All right. Fuck. Oh, and you can't repeat names or words.
Wait, I mean, then Galad. I
meant. No. You said it right. Gawain. Yes, I was telling them. You can't repeat. All right. So I said Min. You said Gawain. Okay.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said Min.
Okay.
All right.
Here you go.
3, 2, 1. Swan Sanche. What'd you say?
Visions.
I said Swan Sanche. All right.
Oh, okay. Swan and Visions. All right.
3, 2, 1. Prophecy of the Dragon. What'd you say?
Boat.
I said Prophecy of the Dragon. God, we're not getting any closer, right? All right, but you're seeing how this works, right, guys?
So,
right?
so you keep saying words until both of you, like whenever you say a word, it just happens to be the same word.
Well, yeah, we should be trying to listen to each other and getting closer. We danced all around Camelin and Whitebridge and stuff, but now we're on Prophecies of the Dragon and boat.
And a boat.
So is it one person thinks of a theme, a kind of word, and then is trying to say words to get everybody else to come to that central theme?
No, you collaborate.
We are both doing it, and we're trying to meet in the middle.
Okay, so like you're both saying other words and trying to get to a collaborative theme word. Okay.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you kept going with the next one, if they're both actually thinking similarly along the same lines, they said Prophecy of the Dragon and boats. The next logical one might be Coromor.
Yeah,
would
exactly.
Be sort of the marriage between the Prophecies of the Dragon and boats.
And that's what I would have said. Yeah, I would have said Coromor.
Right?
Yeah.
And so you're trying to get to the point where both of you get the marriage of what ideas you're doing and say the same word.
Exactly.
So after the first round, you try to pick somebody else's word and think of something that is linked to both of those two words. Okay.
Kinda. Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't want to throw away your train of thought completely, but you also need to compromise and find their train of thought as well.
Fuck my train of thought. I mean, yeah.
All right, well, it's your guys' turn now.
So is it just us two going now, or?
Okay.
Okay. All right. I guess I'll do the countdown then. Ready, Daniel?
Oh, I thought. Are we all doing it together, the four of us?
No, just two people.
Okay, then I suggest, can Brother Dan or Ryan count us down?
Oh, that sounds good.
Sure. Ryan, you want to, or yeah, you do it.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Wolf
Taim.
Brother. Ooh.
Wolf Brother and
Taim.
Okay. Now remember, the answer cannot be one of the Emmonsfield.
Yeah,
correct.
Okay. All right.
All right. 1.
Uh-oh, we lost you.
3, 2, 1.
Elias.
Elias and Dream what?
Dream Spike.
Okay. Elias and Dream Spike. Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Wolf Dream.
Murdral and Wolf what? Dream?
Wolf Dream.
Murdral and Wolf Dream. Okay. Okay, I can see it, Link. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Soulless.
Soulless and Forsaken. Okay.
Hey, watch who's thinking. Keep it going.
3, 2, 1.
Lanfear.
Lanfear and Agenor. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Samael. They've both fucked him. Wait. Oh, man.
Samael, what'd you say, Andrew?
He said
Shaitan. Samael and Shaitan. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Black cords. Oh, that would have been better.
Black cords and Andrew?
I said Shao-Gul.
Shao-Gul. Black
All right,
cords.
come on. I think we got this.
I think we got it.
3, 2, 1.
The boar.
Power.
The boar and the true power. All right. 3, 2, 1.
The dark one.
Quendi are seals.
Dark one and Quendi are seals. Seals of the dark one. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Locks.
Mirian.
All right.
You get one more chance. One more chance. What was that?
Wait,
Locked
what did you say?
and Mirian?
What did Daniel say? Sorry, I didn't hear it.
I said locks.
And you said Andrew?
I said Mirian.
Okay.
What is Mirian?
Or Mirian. I'm saying her name wrong, but it's Lanfear's name in the Age of Legends. Mirian.
Oh, okay.
Last chance, guys. Last chance. 3, 2, 1.
Taints.
Breaking. Yeah, no.
Good try. Good try. All right. Boom, 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 boom. All right. I want to try with someone. Who wants to play again?
I thought, like, I'll definitely play again. I thought we had it with, like, true power. Like, there was, like, 4 times. Like, oh, we've definitely got this.
No, I know.
Okay.
And our brains just went off in, like, the same but different directions.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Ryan.
Brother Dan and Andrew.
Yes.
It's fun.
Bring it.
You want to count us in?
No, you keep counting this. You keep doing that.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Shanchin.
Shiva.
All right. Deshiva and Shanchin.
Shiva and Shanchin. Okay.
3, 2, 1. Soldam.
Andor.
All right. Soldam and Andor. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Menethrin. All right. Falma and Menethrin. All right. 3, 2, 1. Toman Head. Okay. All right. Abildar and Toman Head. All right. 3, 2, 1. Amadesia.
I couldn't think of anything.
All right.
I was like trying to think of a word.
Okay, that's all right. I said Amadesia. All right. 3, 2, 1. White Cloaks.
2 on.
All right. 2 on and White Cloaks. All right.
Okay. All right. I got one. Yeah, let's go.
3, 2, 1. Jeff from Bornhold. All right. I said Jeff from Bornhold. What'd you say?
Dome of Truth.
Dome of Truth.
We might be able to get it with this next one.
Okay. We get 2 more, let's say. All right. 3, 2, 1. Crystal Throne.
Like we swapped.
Yep. All right. What the fuck is that guy's name? All right, never mind. All right. 3, 2, 1. Dane Bornhold. Oh fuck! Oh man. All right, Ryan, you want to play? Or no? God, I thought we were gonna win. I thought we were gonna get that.
All right, Daniel.
All right, Ryan.
Are you ready for this?
Give me 1 second. All right, let's do it.
All right,
3.
I'll do your countdown so Dan can have a break.
Thank you. What just happened?
Everyone left.
All right. I'll be back so that I can
man.
this for you.
All right, cool.
Ready?
Like we walked in on them peeing or something.
Yeah.
Right?
3, 2, 1.
Shonen call.
Shonen call and what'd you say, Ryan? Pattern. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Weaves.
The waist.
Ooh.
Weaves and the waist. All right.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Bubble Evil.
Tainted.
Fuck.
Oh, it's very close.
It's pretty close. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Dark One.
Rand's Mirrors.
Okay, Rand's Mirrors. Okay.
Rand's
And
Mirrors.
what did you say?
Dark One.
Dark One.
Dark One. Okay. Hold on. All right.
Fuck, I don't...
All right.
Brian, I fucking love this game, by the way.
Me too.
3, 2,
What you
1.
thinking? The Mirror World.
Reflections. Oh, all right.
Ooh,
All
that's
right.
really close.
What was it? The Mirror World and what?
Reflection.
And Reflections.
Reflections.
All right.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Portal Stones.
Did you say Portal Stones after
I froze like Andrew did. All right.
That happens.
Portal. No, that's what I
In
was thinking. I was
between,
gonna say, like,
counts. You need to have
when
at
you're
least 3
walking
seconds to
into the-
think.
Okay, I got one. All right, you have Portal Stone, Reflections. All right, I'm
Two
ready.
more, guys.
Wait, two.
Hold on.
Dan,
Yeah, two more rounds.
wait, guys, stop and think of fun. I was going to announce that I have a. Anyways, just kidding. Go on.
Two more.
All right, here you go.
Not a
3,
two more.
2,
Right.
You're not a
1.
tumor.
Wait,
Sorry,
hold
I don't
on.
have-
Wait,
yeah.
I was finishing my
It's not a tumor.
All right. You have 3 seconds.
Thank you. Did not hear what you said. I'm ready.
Reflections and mirrors.
All right,
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Gateway.
Waygates.
That's what I meant.
All right.
That's what I meant.
That's
All
not the
right.
same thing.
All right. I think we can do it this time. All right, ready?
All right, here you go.
But we
1,
can't repeat the same word.
We don't need to.
Oh,
1,
shit. Okay.
2, 3.
Traveling. Fuck.
All right, we lost.
Traveling and
One more. I'll give you one more. You're so close.
Traveling in Teleran Riyadh.
Okay.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Skimming.
Bella.
Bella!
I thought I had you on that one. I thought I knew you. Bella.
Oh man.
Yes.
Oh
Excellent.
man.
So that music
Well,
was
guys-
composed by our music producer, Hermit Convention. You can find him on
Hermit Convention.
SoundCloud. I gave him the track of me yelling, and he gave me that beat back.
Nice.
I said,
Yeah.
make it as cheesy as possible. His music is
And-
nothing like that.
That was successful. I love it.
Yeah.
And the name Hermit Convention is probably one of the funner names I've ever heard.
Truth.
It's a pretty good name.
I agree with that.
Well, guys,
All right, guys.
that was that fun game. That was it.
It
Yeah,
is.
but
I like that game.
I like it.
Nobody
I like it.
won, but we all did
We
well.
all won.
It's kind of like the game where you you start at one article on Wikipedia and try to work your way to a different article.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Or like that geocache where you like are just dropped in the middle somewhere.
Oh, the
and you, like-
geoguessing?
Yeah, geoguessing. Yeah,
geoguessing.
That's fun.
Yep.
Oh, you know what would be awesome if there was a good enough map where we could play geoguessing with the map of Randland.
Oh,
Oh,
really
and we're looking for like an inn that may have like a sign, and we're like, oh, it's the women of Tanchico. Okay, then it's blah blah blah.
yeah. That'd be
I don't
cool.
know. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I do actually have to go.
Yeah, it's a good-
but this
good
has
time to end
been
this whole thing.
super enjoyable.
Well, thank you.
If
Daniel.
we're are we actually ending the whole thing? Because I can stick around for a couple more minutes, but
Oh, I mean, I do have thank you internet, but we can wait on that, right? I don't care.
Yeah,
okay. Well,
yes. Head out and we'll do thank you, internet, Daniel.
Perfect. Well, thank you guys so
Awesome.
much for having me on. This has been a blast. Thank you for being our new best friends and our continuing best friends. You are always welcome in the tower. May you always find water and shade, mostly in the shade of the tower, because Black Tower overall.
Black Tower. BTP.
Indeed. But yeah, thank you guys so much. and have a lovely rest of the evening.
Thank you for joining us, my friend. You're always welcome. The Black Tower podcast is amazing, and I'm glad that you played our game with us. Yeah,
absolutely. Anytime.
We'll see you soon, man.
Awesome.
Take care. Enjoy your week.
You too, man.
All right. So what we do, we tend to. I've scoured the internet, for the greatest.
I need another drink for this.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Ryan's getting a drink too. So hey guys, so how you doing, man? You know, everything holding up? We're almost like at 3 hours. I'm gonna wrap it up pretty soon. But I'm glad you're here. You guys make my week. You guys make my existence fun. You guys give me reason to put felt on hand, if you know what I mean. I am wearing a dog sweater. Yeah, this is true, but I thought that I could kind of be like a prep dude, like from like an 80s thing, like, hey, my name is Blaine, and Andrew's back. Okay.
No, please continue.
I'm gonna put Blaine away. But I'm trying to come up with things to do here. I actually have a box of props here. Yeah, I do. For example, there we go.
Nice.
Yeah, now I'm a lifeguard, Blaine. Yeah.
OBJ, to answer your question, in the series, after the wall is built, we see where they have started constructing a tower, but we never in series see it finished. But they have started constructing a tower, and I believe it's out of the same black stone that the wall is made out of.
Oh, interesting.
Is the wall a 1x1 or 4x4 square?
I would hope it's 4x4. Come on.
I mean, I would hope.
You gotta have some standards here. 1x1. That's not even a brick. That's just cobblestone.
I mean, like 1 mile by 1 mile or 4 mile by 4 mile by 4 mile.
I was thinking much smaller stuff.
Yeah, so the wall encloses nearly 4 square miles around the tower. So
that's all.
Yeah.
All right, so we do a thing where we scour the internet and we find the greatest of memes, and we do a segment that we call Ryan. I'm not sure if you're able to whip those in here at all, like this.
Nope. Sorry, buddy.
All right. Well, that's okay.
Really limited on my cell phone here.
You're hilarious.
What are you trying to bring in?
We have a thank you internet kind of thing that we throw in there. So we don't need that.
Andrew,
I mean, if you tell me where it is, I
look
can
for
click it.
the slide and slap it on in between his jokes.
All right, I'm looking for it.
Yeah, me too. Is it up
this
top?
is like looking. This is like looking for.
You're in the
it's like looking
wrong
for-
brand, Dan. Go to the brand that says Tavern Talk.
Oh yeah, that's the one I'm in.
Yeah, that's what I'm in too.
Mine's great. All right.
We're all looking.
This is not. Oh, yeah, we are. I want to leave this stream right now. It's so boring. Jesus.
All right.
This is how we reward the third hour guest fans.
Yeah, really. All right. So here is add to stream. Boom. And let me hold on. I'm right here. All right. So guys, is that up there, Ryan?
Yes.
Okay.
Make it bigger if you can. There you go.
There we go. So this is Rin. Here's Kalendor. He's saying, I am the storm. But it's funny because it's a penis. Oh, let's go. All right, so hit thank you, Internet, right now. Is it on there, right? All right, so here's all the Wheel of Time fans right now. They're just like, fuck it.
Thank you, Internet.
Thank you, Internet. All right. Robert Jordan. An address was, and me who thought his descriptions were neat until the 13th dress you described. Will you shut up, man?
Oh, Biden. Thank you, Internet.
A Biden meme there. All right. Here's Robert Jordan. Here's boom. Depictions of polygamy and polyamory that revolve around men having multiple women. Is this female empowerment?
Thank you, Internet.
This is probably my favorite meme little format. I love this one.
Have you seen the counter to it where, like, instead of it being the anime guy, it's the anime girl that kind of does, like, instead of a butterfly, it's a bird, and it's like, is this a butterfly?
Oh, no. That's, oh, gosh.
There's a counter to it.
I got to look it up. And I hope. All right. So here's Demodred saying, I feel bad for years, Ran. I don't think about you at all. Boom. All right. So here, I like this one. This one is the top is all 16 books of the Wheel of Time.
Oh, what?
Oh, oops. I'm sorry. All 14 books. I'm sorry. I misread. Oh, shit. All right.
15.
All 14 books of the Wheel of Time. And this bottom here is. Oh, all right.
The bottom is fuck. Understood.
Is me trying to tell the plot.
I'm trying to tell my friends the plot of the Wheel of Time.
And this is
such magic, much adventure.
So amazing.
Thank you, Internet.
I don't know. I like that. All right.
It's really good.
All right. Here's Randall Thor.
Randall? Wait, what?
Yeah. I don't know if you guys ever seen Monsters, Inc.
Oh, yeah.
There's a character named Randall. So that's Randall Thor. Fuck it. All right.
Thank you, Internet.
Thank you, Internet. Where's Barney?
Is he safe?
Where's Padme?
All right.
No. Thank you, Internet. All right, here's the first recorded bonding between Black and White Tower. Boom, Madonna and Brittany. Boom, from Path of Daggers, chapter 26. Fuck. All right.
Thank you, Internet.
Thank you, Internet. I'll just leave this here. Amazon, your wish is my command.
Thank you.
All right. Too soon?
They delivered same day.
Too soon.
Kirby, you requested is available for same-day shipping.
All right. Here's the Old Faithful. Corporate needs you to find the difference between this picture and this picture. Yeah, it's
the same picture.
They're the same picture. Thank
right.
you, Internet.
Here's a mirror draw. All right, thank you, Internet. All right, so, all right, just in the wild. There you go. Thank you, Internet. You know what? Let me just zoom that in.
Black Tower approved.
The filth of the taint. Wonderful. Oh, this one's good.
I honestly don't even get that one, but I'm not going to ask because I don't know if I want to know the answer.
The filth of the taint?
I don't want to know just fine. Diarrhea, fine. Let's go.
What is the taint, right?
Shut up. Oh, all right.
thought you meant this one. Like,
well, I don't get the fucking arms. Why are they like bro hugging? I don't get it.
No, that's the. All right, never mind.
It's kind of like a bro thing. Like we're like birds of a feather, kind of thing.
Got it. Yeah.
I think this gentleman is an actual like manga like artist.
What is happening right here? Why is this funny?
Because I think the gentleman that you see,
people pretending to be Aiel when they're hanging out with Fael. They call themselves Cha Fael.
I don't know. I can't see the top there. All right. It's really small.
Well, anyway, thank you.
All right. So, here we have. If Rand had gone peacefully to Shia Ghul with Narg, he could have started the next age without all that death and destruction. Change my mind.
Thank you, Internet.
Thank you, Internet.
It's pretty good. Pretty good point. Here's 1,394 pages about Min's strong personality, wry humor, sharp mind, deep insights, and supernatural abilities. 2 sentences mentioning her butt. There's some real shit.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Internet.
Thank you, Internet.
That's a lot of effort.
Pledge to the Dark Lord or die. Narg no hurt. Come with Narg. Narg is friend. Thank you, Internet. All right. Here's just difference between Perrin and Lord Luke. Perrin, I did what I had to do to survive. I'm just a blacksmith. Lord Luke, I'm the best thing there is. Plain and simple. I woke up this morning and I pissed excellence. There we go.
Thank you, Internet.
All right. Crossroads of Twilight can be a slog sometimes. Thank you, Internet.
I just focused in on like the fiery aspect of it. It's like my ass after finishing it. Like your ass is on fire.
Right. All right. And Matt, dicing with commoners when he can't lose isn't gambling, it's theft. That's none of my business, says Kermit.
I'll take that argument.
Thank you, Internet.
Thank you, Internet.
And finally, hey, let's end with the Big Lebowski meme, shall we? Am I the only one around here sick of people bitching about adaptations in the show? Boom, boom. Locked and loaded. Internet. Thank you, intranet.
That's a very different thing, sir. The ITME just screamed.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And let me stop sharing.
All right. Smash to try. All right. Well, we've hit the witching hour, guys. This is the moment when we either do 3 more hours.
Nope.
Or we
nope.
stop.
Nope. if those are the options.
Yep. Those are the options. We can only commit to 3 more hours and break our 6-hour record, or we stop now.
Let me think on it.
No. Oh, that's so gross. That's so gross.
So good. So good, Ryan.
No, but what you don't see is that he found like all sorts of shit just fell out of it. Like you don't see it on camera, but he just starts.
I kind of now want somebody to like seriously edit it where like random shit falls out.
Yeah, like the tennis ball you throw to your dog every morning. Like, well, how'd that get in there?
It's the beard of holding.
This is a penis, right?
How'd that get in there? It's not even Tuesday.
Hey, sorry, it's magical. It's not even Tuesday.
Yeah.
All right, let's end this bad boy.
This has been great.
It has been.
As it always is.
Thank you, Andrew. You're the best. You and Daniel are the best. Josh is pretty good too, man.
Yeah.
Well, he wanted to make it, but he had to go on assignment and just got back. So,
is he CIA?
Can neither confirm nor deny.
Okay. All right.
But he has several cell phones, Ryan. Several. One that looked like it was like Polish. It was like, I think, from Poland. Yeah.
He hides it in his beard.
Josh actually doesn't have a beard. It's just like this kind of. He's just always in disguise when he's on.
He bought a merkin and used it as a beard.
Andrew, Black Tower Podcast. When do you guys? What is your release schedule? And tell us about your show, would you?
So the Black Tower Podcast is a full spoiler podcast. Funnily enough, the next episode we're recording is a non-spoiler episode. We're actually recording that with
Liar!
It's supposed to be a non-spoiler because we have a spoiler wanting to use that as a
spoiler.
I need to get that so I can throw it into our episode. Anyway, but we record on Tuesdays, and patrons are able to listen live on Discord. For anybody that can't do that or doesn't want to do that, that's perfectly fine. Our episodes release every Friday. Patrons get to hear it about a week early. Trying to do more live streams. We'll see how that goes. We just did a live stream with Tom from Drag 'Em Out talking about what the Wheel of Time trailer could mean for season 1 of the show.
And let me tell you, Tom almost became like the host of your show. He was so good. He's an amazing guest.
It's perfectly fine with me, because when we did the episode with Jason, he pretty much took over and we just listened. So I'm perfectly fine with it.
Yeah, it was profound. That guy he was a great guest.
Oh yeah. And if you don't know Tom does a lot of work for the for Jordan Con, and he also does a ton of work for Dragon Mount. So Tom DeSimone is a fantastic guy. If you haven't met him, definitely meet him. And if you can meet him in person, definitely do that at Jordan Cons. But right now we're gearing up for our annual in-person event. That's in-person / online event where we celebrate our 1-year anniversary in October. So that's all there. You can find all you want about that at blacktowerpod.com. And that's got all of our stuff. There's even a calendar there that shows when we record and when our episodes release. So
it's 1 year?
No, so it's our annual one. This will be our 3rd Gathering Madness. Okay. So this will be our 3rd year this October, and we'll be starting our 4th year, season 3, 4th year, because we didn't swap seasons after the 1st year.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Unfortunately, we're going to miss out on that, but we will hopefully make next year's. Maybe in person. Yes. That'd be amazing.
Well, next year's, if we follow current metrics, will be in LA. So it'll be a lot closer for you, I believe.
Yep.
So, because every year we rotate around to where one of us is. So, last year was in Ogden, where Josh is. This year's in Havelock, North Carolina, where I am. And next year will be in LA, where Daniel is. So.
Intriguing, huh? All right. Beautiful. Well, thank you so much, man.
I may bring Martin Sheen here with me.
Yeah.
Don't you lunch with him frequently, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah, he likes sushi. I can only have so much sushi. You know that, Ryan. So
yeah.
I got that thing. I got that gallbladder thing.
Yeah.
So are y'all closing the doors here?
Yeah, you got it. You want to do
it? Do you? I don't know what to say, but I can click the button.
Yeah, let's close the doors. Let's close the doors in this tavern. And
well, thank you guys for having me. Thank everybody for coming out and listening.
Have a great night, buddy.
Yeah, make sure you all subscribe to the Way of the Leaf and like the video, share it out, do all that stuff.
Yeah,
but since I got hit in the knee, we're going to close the doors now. Oh, that's not the one I thought it was. Neither is that. I thought that was. This guy. Bye.
Bye.